you leveraged technology.
Yeah, and it definitely won me over,
Okay.
100%.
And what did Craig tell you?
About the value of what we could do to find the costs.
Yeah. So I get the value of using technology to buy our time back. I get that. And I think that there is something to say about that. And it comes down to the habit. So we create the habit and we do the same thing regardless of what technology we're using or what gets into our life. Then when we add something, we add a layer to that, we're just buying back some additional time. So if you were committed to the Bold 100 no matter what, you would have hit the Bold 100.
Of course.
And the conversations I often have with people who are not on this team is, I could hit my Bold 100 if I had this. I could do this if I had that. No. You'll do it no matter what. You're just going to be able to leverage something at a higher level because you realize I'm committed to the outcome.
I mean, yeah, in 3 hours, I kept the statistics. I had 103 contacts. I left 93 voicemails, and I had made over 680 calls
Yeah.
in 3 hours.
So I am excited to spend money during the shift, provided that we get a return on our investment for that. And so I leave that to you as the director of sales to kind of say, all right, if this is something that we're going to use because we can have more conversations, we're going to talk about it here, and I can double down on lead gen by using technology, what does that look like for the team? Cool. Who else? How many in the room did a Bold 100 and completed it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2 claps for those people. Good job.
Not last week, but I have done one.
Okay, fair enough, then I'll give you that. And how many in the room attempted a Bold 100 and did not complete it? 1, 2, who else? Mitch,
So he's looking for his apartment. As apartment, he's looking at it.
Okay,
He is setting his appointment though for his.
good. All right, so we've all been there. Most of the people in this room that have been on the team for a while, we've attempted Bold 100s several times. What do you think got in the way of completing it?
Well, I did get a lot of contacts initially, about 40, and then I kind of stopped doing it because I was concentrating on my exam. I studied, and I stopped getting contacts with people who were out of town.
So where did you end the Bold 100?
Around
How many?
45.
What?
Around 45, 50 contacts.
Okay. And Brian?
86.
86.
Oh man, you were there.
So 14 more. What stops you from hitting that?
The day ended. The day.
I'm sorry, say that again.
Say it aloud.
The day ended?
It struck midnight.
Well, it's because I did the phone calls and I left the office and I did the rest in person and then it's just like,
Rest in person where?
I work.
Oh,
Like I
yeah.
work.
So you worked too. You had to work that night.
Yeah.
So how many contacts did you have when you left the office?
Being like,
You had 23 at the office,
yeah.
and you made the other 60 at work?
Well, not at work, but just like when I left the office, the gym, at work. You know, just talk to everybody once I left from here.
Okay. So, and how late were you here at the office?
I was here till 2,
2 or 3 p.m. Okay. And why do you think you only had 23 by the time you got by 3 p.m.?
It's not a lot of people, honestly.
And who were you calling?
I was calling the zip code for the open house.
Okay. And do you think that halfway through that, you could have realized this data's not working for me, I need to move to something else? I need to start calling every Subway in town because they pick up the phone? Okay. Do that next time, right?
So what would you do differently? Now that you've gone through it, you've understood the obstacles that get in the way. We now understand that 100 contacts is not as easy as we might calculate it to be. What would you do differently?
Say that again?
What would you do differently? If I said, hey, Brian, tomorrow I need you to do another Bold 100, what would you do?
I'd probably just call different numbers, or, I mean, if I really, really tried, I I could have gotten 14.
There you go.
You're in bold. So are you committed to doing a bold 100 this week?
This week?
Yeah.
I'll do it next week.
When?
Next Wednesday?
Next
Wait.
Wednesday? No, bold ends on Tuesday.
Bold ends.
And I want you standing up there getting a bold 100 then.
So next Monday?
Team day next Monday.
And.
No, it's not a team day, it's business planning
Business
day.
planning, yeah.
Still, it's gonna take time out of his day.
4 hours.
What about Thursday? I'll do it too.
If you do one this week,
Right, Fernando.
any of the day other than Wednesday, I'll do it with you.
I'll do it too, if you do it this week.
Well, I can't do Thursday because I'm getting my wisdom pulled, so I'm gonna be able to talk.
How about Wednesday?
How's Wednesday?
I can't do Wednesday, I have.
Oh,
Yeah, Wednesday.
We can do Wednesday.
So you're committed to doing a bold 100 on Wednesday. Bettina, what would you do differently if I asked you to do a bold 100?
Well, I would call different, I was calling sphere of influence and brevity, even though brevity was very good, I would like to do another, be on the dial.
Okay, so
Different
you're,
numbers.
you would like different numbers. Tell me a little more about that. Because you were calling sphere of influence
And brevity,
and brevity.
yeah. I
Okay, so
did get-
database.
Right, I did get a couple of good reads on
Okay.
brevity,
Okay,
but, I would like to, I think I would stay longer and been more motivated if I had been on a different, few numbers.
so are you motivated to the opportunity or are you motivated to the results?
Well, I would like to get some, appointments and results.
Okay. So in my world, when I have to do a bold 100, I don't think about the 100 contacts. I think, and I'm coached, set blank appointments by contacting 100 people. Because it changes your mindset as well. The conversation is different. And it doesn't matter who you're talking to. My very first bold 100 took 10 and a half hours. And I ended it by going over here to Albertsons. Because Keith, who was my mentor, he was the guy that was helping me through that, said, you do whatever you gotta do. You go talk to whoever you gotta talk to. And so I was committed to setting an appointment and 100 contacts. And so I went to Albertsons and I had conversations. I had 11 left and I hit it. So when we're setting goals, and this is really important when we start getting into next week as well, when we're setting goals, like, are we really committed to that goal? Are we really committed to that outcome? So are you committed to doing a bold 100 this week?
Yes.
What day? I'll give you a hint.
Uh-huh.
After Tuesday before Thursday might be a really good day to do that.
Wednesday?
Wednesday,
Yeah.
great. So bold 100 on Wednesday for you.
Okay.
Okay, let me know how I can help you. I will be at Green Valley Ranch all day long, and the team and I are still here to support you. Okay, so go to Arsenio, go to Brandon, if there's things that you need. Sounds like she's going to reserve a dialer. Okay, you're both in 7 for the day, and I think that's fair. Anybody else committed to doing a bold 100 this week?
On Thursday, I'll do it.
Thursday, awesome. Anything I can do to help you, I will be on an airplane flying to Austin, but I will still be available. Reach out to,
I'll,
So excited for you.
I'll do it because I'm leaving town for
okay,
a long
what day are
time.
you doing a bold 100?
I'm gonna do it on, no, I can't do
You
it
leave
tomorrow,
Wednesday,
right?
don't you?
Yeah, but I can try to do it before I
What time do
leave.
you
leave?
I leave at night. I leave at night,
So
so
you-
I can technically do it.
You are
working
working 8 to 12.
Yes, at least. We're gonna do it. We're just gonna do it.
Oh,
Because I'm
I
leaving
think she
town.
gets, I think she
I gotta
deserves
do
a
it.
dialer too.
Okay. So what day?
Wednesday.
Wednesday. We'll do it
Wednesday.
together.
We'll do it
So you and
together.
Bettina have the dialers that day, both
Okay.
in 7
Okay.
dialers. Okay, fair enough.
What about
Uh,
Brian?
What day are you doing it?
Wednesday.
And who are you calling?
Thursday.
Actually, I have an appointment Wednesday, so I don't know how long that'll take.
How long are you intending the appointment to take?
You said to like book it for 3 hours
Okay, so that is a buyer, right? Okay, and when are they coming in?
at 10.
In the morning? Is that by your choice or by theirs?
By mine.
Okay, how would you feel about rescheduling them for the afternoon? Do you think there's any risk? two options. You can either do a Bold 100 before 10 a.m., or you can be back in the office by 1 p.m. and starting your Bold 100.
Or
Do it both
Half it.
before and after. Continue.
I got it.
Yeah.
It's a lot easier said than done, but I get it.
yeah.
So 8 to 9, 9 to 10, that's 2 hours. And they say 8 hours for a Bold 100, so that would be a quarter. So you would have to get 25 contacts in the first 2 hours.
I don't know, but I'll figure it out.
Okay.
Call
So
your
you're
sheriff.
committed to a Bold 100 on
I'll be
Wednesday.
coming in the morning.
Okay, good.
Oh,
All right,
yeah.
anybody else? Bold 100 this week. Okay, great. She's like, I have no idea what I'm committing to, but I'm in.
Come Wednesday.
Wednesday will be
On Wednesday, I'm not available till around 10:30. Is that okay?
Yes.
Okay.
All work expands to the time allowed. Connor, first Bold 100, you had to be done by when?
2,
And when did you complete your Bold 100?
1:30.
There you go.
So
Yeah.
I have to be done by 2 p.m.?
Right.
Yeah.
No, you say you can't start until
Yeah,
10:30.
I can't start until 10:30.
Great, so
Okay.
you can't start until 10:30 and you have until 11:59 p.m. to complete the Bold 100.
Got it, okay.
Great.
No one's gonna pick up at 11, unless you call Hawaii.
There are 24-hour places in town, and if you're committed to the outcome, you will. All right, so let's shift directions. I want to just let everybody know the Bold 100 is just a way to double down, and so I wanted to get intentional on that for a minute. So Brett Tanner is really talking at a very high level right now through his coaching clients, through his soon-to-be coaching clients, along with Jason and Brian, that if you don't adapt in this shift and you don't start doing things differently or double down on the activities that you're currently doing, you will die. You'll die in the business, you're gonna get out, you're gonna go find a real job. Job, J-O-B. So, 6 things that we need to do. This is it. The list is not big. 6 things that such that by doing that, everything else becomes easier or unnecessary. We need to transition all of our fixed costs to variable costs. And so that's, the team needs to transition costs. You as an agent needs to transition your cost. How many things are you paying for in your little world every single month? And do you need to be paying that price every single month? Can you tie things in your business to some level of production, productivity, success, profitability, whatever that is? Can you tie that? I'm doing that on the team as we speak. Some of you in this room, you are a product of this. Some of you in this room are not a product of this and will become a product of this. So everybody, start thinking about how can I make more money in a variable space through either more work, higher levels of production, more production, or more cost of the production. Okay, for instance, a showing assistant says, oh, I get $500 per deal to go out and show homes. I can do more showings. I could have less showings and learn how to convert those buyers for my agent client at a higher level. Or I can go back to my agent and the team and say, hey, if I convert more than X a week, will I get a bonus on top of that? So you gotta think that way, think outside that box. So I want everybody to start looking into their little world. What are your expenses at home? What do you pay every single month that just comes through your credit card or through your debit card, or you just write the check every month that you don't need to? Who do you have in your organization that needs to be fired? I'm looking at my pool guy right now. I'm like, dude, it's the winter time. And in the fall, I had a lot of leaves, I had some stuff going on, I don't think you were on top of it. So, this might be one expense that I'm gonna go ahead and endure on my own for the next 6, 9, 12, 18 months. My pest guy. I like you, I give you a lot of business, you gave me a great rate. And this is probably something that I can do, or hire somebody else to do it at a better level, cheaper. It's business, guys, it is what it is. So who do you have in your organization that right now, you do not need to leverage them? Okay, now I'm not saying go and can everybody, babysitters and all that. No, 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 no. Look at your business and leverage that time versus cost. You might just be replacing one person right now with somebody else, and that's okay. We're in a business. If I'm not producing for you and I'm not providing value to you, I'm not gonna get butthurt when you fire me. I'm gonna learn from it and go, man, I dropped the ball. I didn't do something I was intending to do. I failed on a promise, whatever that is. You need to do the same thing with the people that are in business with you. And you need to also look at the things that you're currently doing that maybe you need to pay out now, because you could spend that hour, instead of cleaning your home every Sunday, could you be lead genning on a Sunday now? Is that more important, and does that yield you a higher return on your investment?
And, excuse me, I did that yesterday and I got more people on the phone than usually like Monday to Friday.
Absolutely. Real estate's a lifestyle, not just yours. Absolutely. You know, we are not in a 9-to-5 job. And if you're not having success 9 to 5, are you adjusting your life to get successful? Are you working and making calls at 6 o'clock at night, at 9 o'clock at night, at midnight, at 2 a.m.? Are you responding to Facebook posts? I mean, I will do whatever I need to do to have the outcome that I expect to have. So it's a reciprocal fixed cost versus variable, and it's not just the physical bills either. Okay? Double your lead gen efforts. Okay, I'm seeing people right now having bold 1000s. What does that mean?
Quadruple line dialer.
What is that?
Yeah, 200 contacts a day for 5 days. 150, 6 days, something like that, yeah. Because they realize they have to double down. Now, we're gonna talk here in a minute about why, if you do it now, will it pay off huge dividends in 9 months from now. We'll talk about that. But double your lead gen efforts. The minimum standard has gone up, and it's gone up to what now?
26.
35? Thanks for the math. Yeah, 35 contacts a day and an appointment set. But we're gonna start measuring appointments held. That's the game. The game is appointments held. And at this point, from this day on, I would rather you as a team to go on horrible appointments and do them constantly and have 3 and 4 of them than to only qualify one appointment. I know we have been preaching qualification, 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 and I get that. But you're going to learn so much more, and you're gonna get in front of so many more people by just going on appointments. Your afternoon should be booked with 2 to 4 appointments every day, 5 days a week.
Question.
Yep.
With those appointments, they'll get better with time, obviously, but like resetting another listing appointment. For example, I set one listing appointment 2 weeks ago.
Uh-huh.
I set the same person up with an appointment now. I mean, will count? Is that counted as an appointment?
It doesn't matter on the appointment sets.
Okay.
I mean, you ask yourself, am I gonna cheat myself up front, or am I gonna cheat myself on the end? And I don't care what the answer is. How many times are you going on that appointment held? Because we're gonna find that you're going on appointments 2, 3, 4 times.
Right.
We're gonna find that. Brandon's gonna teach a class on Monday about appointments and about listings, and here's the different ways that we can go and take a listing.
Well, and I mean, I say that because I mean it'll get better with time. But as a new agent, they might not be able to close. I might not be able to close on that first appointment, so I'm gonna have to go back a second time to try and close on that appointment.
And we're gonna focus on closings. We're gonna focus on, don't get off the phone until you set the appointment.
Okay.
And then when they try to reschedule, you're in the area, you're showing up. Like, it's okay to have that level of assertiveness. Because now, instead of the buyers being scared, the sellers become scared. And it still means you're doubling down on your lead gen. Lead generation is even through an appointment. That's still lead gen. Okay? Triple lead conversion to appointments. That's kind of what we're just talking about now. You got to triple down those appointments to contract. And you're going to find, actually, that it's going to be easier to take a listing. It's going to get easier. They're going to be like that buyer that just says, please list my home and sell it fast. Because the days on market's gonna increase, we're gonna turn into a buyer's market where they're gonna get savvy, they're the ones that are gonna sit there and park for a couple of days, a couple of weeks. Well, I don't know, I'll let you know, we like this house better, will you accept 20% below market?
And you know, I'm actually, on that, I even told an agent yesterday when I got a counter offer that, yeah, it's gonna take a day or two to get back. And say, oh yeah, that's fine,
Yeah.
just let me know, let me know.
Yep, that's exactly what's gonna happen. I'm really, really excited about that. Like, I can't tell you how excited I am about this shit. Like, I get goosebumps. That's how excited I am. Are you excited? I'm excited.
Decided to take market share.
Increase talent recruiting efforts. Some of you are a product of that, and that's my one thing. Because we have to do more business, so we need more feet on the ground. We need more feet out there in the market, so we can take more territory. Because successful, talented agents will learn to adjust. They'll do one deal and say, okay, now how do I do two? Great, now how do I do three? They'll leverage the team. They'll leverage our leads, our systems, our training, and they'll take more territory because of that. Increase training efforts. We've always done this at a higher level than most teams, and we will increase it exponentially. And we're gonna get really focused on that. We're gonna get real purposeful. I'm excited to have conversations with some of these people, including Gary on Friday, to say, hey, what are 3 things we should be focusing on in the next 12 months? Just 3. You know, every 4 months in quadrants, this is what we're gonna focus on. What are those 3? Don't give me 20 things. Let's take the 6, let's step it down to 3. Help me out, Gary. And he will. He will. So we're gonna focus on our training efforts. And then be visible, and this is really more for me. So Craig has 2 jobs here. Be more visible, be more available to the team, available to the team's clients. That's gonna be my value proposition. Do I need to go on an appointment with you? Do I need to go take the listing with you? Do I need to get on the phone with your client? Do I need to overcome objections with you? How can I be your partner through this? Do I need to lead gen with you? I've always been a visible leader. I will be even more visible, which means the burden will hit on people like you guys to kind of run the back office at a higher level, get really on top of things, making sure that we don't let things through the cracks. So that's it. That's our job. So now let's focus on maybe the things that we need to do as a team that we're not doing, or maybe the things that we need to double down on when it comes to transitioning fixed cost to variable costs. And this is a open discussion. This is a mastermind.
I think double your lead gen efforts will.
Let's talk about one, fixed cost to variable costs.
I thought we were opening this all up.
Fixed cost.
So right now, we have fixed costs in the following areas. We pay for ad spend. We pay for our platform fee. Those are both fixed costs. I can adjust the ad spend. It could become variable. The Brevity platform fee is not easily going to become variable. We pay a fixed cost per month for Vulcan 7. We pay a fixed cost per month for offices. We pay a fixed cost per month at a base rate to the director of operations, who is then incentivized for escrows. That's how she gets her bonus. We pay a fixed cost for the administrative assistant. Everything else is a variable cost.
I know this is probably down the line, but when will Kelly come out as a platform for mega agents
So-
/ teams?
Kelly is the artificial intelligence to Command.
Yes, I'm sorry, Command. So
So
when?
Command's out.
Uh-huh.
I'm using Command, I'm running some ad spends on Command, I'm just playing with it, trying to figure out what's working and what's not. I'm trying to get Brian, I'm trying. He's intending to get on it, and
Cause
we
that's,
can't get him on it.
because Command is a CRM, right?
Yes, and I see us running the 2 side by side for a period of time.
And then is it free to Keller Williams agents?
It's,
or is?
It's not free, it will not increase the $40 spend that we all pay as it is. So it's included in our $40 a month
Oh, okay.
tech fees.
It's
Okay.
taking the place of the edge.
Yeah, that's
Got
it.
it. So, I mean, down the line, could you slash brevity?
Absolutely.
And that would
And
be-
that's 24 months from now at a minimum.
Okay, so
Yeah.
it's a way that I.
And I would love to do it sooner.
Okay. Also, I mean, I know we use Vulcan 7 at a high level.
Why are you not like sitting up here?
I came in late and I didn't want. I know we
And I
don't
can't
use
hear
You
you.
Vulcan.
realize this was the CM show, but Connor's got a lot of questions he wants answered.
We utilize Vulcan 7 at a high level to an extent.
Mhm.
What is our conversion ratio of taking expired listings off of Vulcan 7?
Good question.
'Cause I
What
mean-
is our conversion rate for an $800 a month system?
Cause, I mean, I know we use the dialers at a high level.
2 dialers, expired,
Single line too, right?
2 single line dialers, expireds, withdrawns, and for sale by owners, right? Those are the only 3 lists that you're getting out of Vulcan, correct?
Correct.
I believe, I don't use it at a high level, that's what I'm saying is why.
So here's where we're gonna get to. So this is the conversation I wanna have, because we are a democracy, guys. This is not a dictatorship.
And what is,
Craig only reserves veto power.
and what is on Vulcan, so with those 3, what is the information we're getting out of that as
So
well?
Vulcan,
'Cause what-
7.
$8.49.
Yeah, sure. Cross that out. Per month, and you get withdrawns
It expires.
and FISBOs. And then 2 times 1 line dial. Okay.
So, and I know what was the system that they said at Bold? What was that? That was like 800.
That was land voice.
Land voice.
Yeah.
So that was like 800 for the year.
Yeah.
You get withdrawns, expires, and FISBOs from that, but do you just get, what is the data you get from that?
Yeah. So we're gonna talk about data. Okay, let's keep that as a separate conversation. But I know where you're going, because where we're going to get is we're gonna get to Mojo. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna identify in a very quick amount of time, is there another system out there that will provide us more for less?
Yes, basically yes.
Mojo.
Yeah. So Vulcan 7, this is what we're getting. We also have Cole,
It is.
Realty,
Yep.
Which sometimes
They're not good.
you have.
which I pay, I got it for like 900
For a year?
for the year. And that is Circle Prospecting.
And that's good. I like Coral. I think that needs.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
sometimes
I
you
get
have
Hold
one.
on, guys, hold on, let's get the data up here. Circle Prospecting,
Yeah,
which includes, home, cell, and email,
yeah,
and address.
address.
Well, yeah, the address is, that is
Yeah.
Cole Realty.
So Cole Realty, you said that it's just like, you get
Neighborhood
you get the zip
prospect.
code and then it just gives you the neighborhood.
Yeah.
I don't, I usually put the address, cause I wanna close to the area,
Mhm.
and I put the address and the zip code, that's it.
You can get that on property radar too, though.
I
You
can't
can
remember
put that on
100%,
property
but I
radar. You just
believe
have to look
Mojo
it
can
No, I
also
just
give
get
that
that
information.
information.
Half a mile. from
It
the-
does.
Okay.
It does.
That's why so we're going directly for that.
What did she say?
Sorry, I said, Mojo.
Great minds think alike. We will get there.
In terms of circle prospecting.
What are other systems that we use right now for outbound listing prospecting? You're using something right now. that
Property
we-
radar.
Property Radar.
Is that what Mitch is using?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were talking
that
about
free?
Z-Buyer, but we're not.
Z-Buyer.
Z-Buyer's not, I'll tell you that right now. Okay.
Okay,
How do you
and
get
right
that?
now, Property Radar, right now,
E0, but if you do get it, it's like $40 a month.
okay. Right now,
What
we're
does that-
borrowing,
what does
we're
that get?
borrowing one of our partners' access to try it out.
What does that give you?
So Property Radar will give you properties that are already listed,
Uh-huh.
properties that are foreclosed on.
Okay.
They also give you properties that, which I have to show me, well, but there's also properties that shows you abandoned properties.
Okay.
And it also shows you properties that the homeowner doesn't live in the house.
So they're distressed,
Absentee
basically.
Distressed
Absentee
properties,
distressed.
absentees, and, yeah.
Mitch was using that when we were doing the Golden Hunter and he was complaining about it.
Which, because The problem with that is he had to do more research than just calling. So when he finds a property, he has to find the caller, because the numbers aren't always correct, which is one thing that we're actually trying to work on. But by building that pipeline itself, will open up a whole lot more,
You
especially
said-
to get the correct number.
You said it shows active properties currently listed?
Mhm.
How does that help us? I'm just,
No,
So-
not currently listed, I'm sorry, distressed properties and absentees of the.
So in
Okay.
this market that we were in, it would not have been
It wouldn't-
worth $40, but in the market we're heading into, it'll be
Exactly.
worth $40.
Okay, so right now we have, I'm not including Brevity in here because Brevity isn't really a exotic list or a dialer for us, even though it clearly has a single line dialer on the app. So $8.49 per month, times 12 is what?
$8.49 times 12.
Yeah.
$10,188.
Plus another 900,
$11,000.
okay, divided by 12.
Is that
$916.66.
This is for a year, yeah. And I think they come up for renew in February-ish.
Will you get it for 900 again?
Most likely.
Okay, so $917 a month.
Okay.
Wait, I'm confused how we got to that number.
You added all three.
Yeah,
So
so-
all three didn't get anymore. It's like-
So if somebody pulls up Mojo real quick and goes to pricing, scrolls all the way to the bottom, I think for 5 users, this is not 5 people on a dialer, but 5 users, so they can access all of the data, 3 single line dialers and 2 triple line dialers.
I'm looking at it.
It does not include on that the neighborhood, so you would have to add the neighborhood at like $20 a month. That comes up to what?
60. Neighborhood's 40 a month.
So five lead managers.
Yeah, so yeah.
One single line dialer, 2 triple line dialer, neighborhood search, expired data, and FISBOs is $532 a month.
So 5 lead,
Wow.
this just means that 5 people
Can be on,
can be on the lead system, so neighborhoods, FISBOs, all that stuff, they can get into the list, 5 people at a time. 5 lead managers. What was the other?
one single line dialer per licensee.
Okay, one
No,
single line
one
dialer.
single line dialer.
Yeah, 2 triple line dialer per licensee.
Okay, and then it
Neighborhood
says-
search,
so neighborhood,
expired data,
FISBOs.
and FISBOs.
And that's 532.
Let's get that.
and then what was one of the other things that they offer that is not on that?
Reverse lookup.
Reverse lookup, okay. So reverse lookup, has anybody used that on Mojo?
What is that?
I have,
I don't know what that is, so no.
Okay,
with quality wise of numbers we deal with.
okay.
What is reverse lookup?
First lookup is basically if you have a property and, that's all you have, it tells you who the homeowner is.
Oh, okay. So if you have,
If you have something on them,
So that means that that would allow one more person to be on the dialer, and then the 2 other people who are on the dialer would have a triple, so they would get through their contacts quicker.
and then you could add, then for the price,
Add,
for the price that you're putting on, that you're paying in the Vulcan 7, all of that, you could probably add, you could add at least one more, possibly a second triple line dialer.
Oh, God,
Or
yeah,
is
get
it
a
one
Mojo.
single
Wow.
line with a triple line?
Wow.
Yeah, or you could add like 3 single lines, 1 triple line, 2 single line, yeah, but you got.
just
Yeah.
like about
For all that.
532 is gonna still be a better bet.
right, for this,
Yeah.
532.
Get
So
the
if you
Mojo.
just wanted to cut costs,
And not even add
And that
anything,
includes all that stuff.
which you're gonna cut $400, and that's not even adding anything.
Correct.
Which, how often do we use dialers besides a Bull 100
we're
day?
using them
I
more,
don't-
we're using them
yeah.
more
But
frequently,
you're
I'm
using
starting to
2.
see frequency.
Yeah.
But we have 3, it's,
I know.
Yep.
What's the difference between a single line and a triple line?
Single line
We
is
would-
one
we would-
line
Okay.
that just
Like-
keeps calling,
I'm saying,
it'll call that number like 4 or 5 times, and then it'll hang up on that number, call the next number.
That's what I'm
Triple
saying. I'm not
line
saying we don't
will
use
keep
them. I'm
calling
saying we
3
don't
lines
have
at the
another
same
one.
time,
Gotcha.
4 or 5 times,
So just
until they either pick up or until,
I wonder if more
it
people would be
fails out and
inclined
goes
to
to the
use
next
the
one.
dialer.
How long has it been around there?
Just keeps going, just during the
keeps going.
session, yeah, just
You
keeps
can't
going.
stop yourself.
So the
Oh, there's
moment,
been a lot
the
of
moment
times I've
you
walked
hang
in
up on
where I
one
haven't
person,
been able to get on the dialer.
if someone's already.
Because he's
Yeah.
sending every hot
What is
water
a,
down
it says
and
lead
off
manager
something, and that's
licenses?
it.
You get
Yeah, so
5
that's-
what is that?
So we have 2 lead manager licenses for Vulcan.
Is that VIP and
Yeah.
assist?
Yeah.
So could,
So there'd be 5
So-
accounts.
yeah, so we could hop on.
And we could all
just
hop
can't
on.
use the dialer. We
Yeah,
could
now
use
they
it,
would want them to be assigned to an individual agent.
but
So we can make up fake names, Archivy 1, Archivy 2,
Well,
Archivy,
something like that, yeah.
Patty 1,
Most
Patty
likely
2.
what we
Patty
do.
2, Patty 3,
That's-
So now let's talk about
Okay.
the data. So Land Boys,
biblical names.
in my opinion, and in the opinion of many people who have tried Land Boys, we consider Land Boys to have relatively low quality data.
Did he say it was like
That's what I
60% or
hear
something?
about them.
Didn't he say it was like 60%
Who does he work for?
land voice?
Go to the source.
Well, that's what I mean though, like 60% is very low for the amount of money that you're paying. Like if you're paying a lot of money, I want 95 to 100%, but he said, one of them, I know 60% was in there somewhere.
So is that like for numbers that are correct or just how good that
Overall
person is?
data,
Okay.
quantity of data, quality of data,
Okay.
all of that.
So I was gonna
You
say,
know,
I
what's
mean-
getting scrubbed against the do not call list, what's getting scrubbed against expireds that have been relisted on the MLS.
We'd have
All
3
of it.
people to call if it was all.
So in the world of data, when it comes to FSBOs, expires and withdrawals, 3 years ago, it was rated Vulcan 7, REDX, REDX, Mojo, Land Voice.
Yeah, Helium Voice.
The rest of them, I mean, there's still another dozen of them, they don't even matter.
You give me the order of the dialers quality.
So Mojo has the best 3-line dialer, always has.
Single line? Is it not that great?
Single line's a single line.
Okay.
Can't
Yeah.
have a good.
And Mojo also has, they've got a couple of other things that they'll add. I don't know if they'll do voicemail drops anymore, do they?
That's
They
how I
do,
s-
but they don't do text messaging though.
No,
Okay.
so yeah, it had me record a callback message.
Yeah.
So like if somebody, 2 people pick up from one time, it has sent the second person
Uh-huh.
a message saying, hey, hello, I can't hear you, I'll call you right back. And then by the time I'm done with the other person, it calls back immediately.
Yeah.
And if someone doesn't answer, I just hit drop voicemail, and it drops the recorded voicemail I did.
So now, use that technology, maybe when you're doing an open house, and you're like, you know, I don't wanna actually talk to everybody yet. I just wanna do a voicemail drop to everybody, letting them all know that I've got an open house this week. So like 5 days before, you just do a voicemail drop, you don't even talk to them.
Huh.
It'll
Voicemail
I don't know
blast.
if it'll do ghost calls, or whatever it's called.
But it'll automatically call.
It'll still call them and you
You
can
can
leave the
drop,
voice.
yeah.
So let's say you've got 1,500 people, you're what, 20 minutes, 30 minutes? Cause you're not gonna have contacts?
Well, yeah, because, yeah, well, I mean, when I dial, any person I didn't answer, I dropped a voicemail, so I had like almost 100 voicemails.
And did you get
left.
callbacks?
I had a ton of people.
Yeah,
calling me
I
back.
love the callbacks. If you've got something to say, leave a voice message.
Yeah,
If you
and I-
have something to
yeah.
say. If you don't have something to say, don't leave a voice message. If they, you know, if you're cold calling, I never leave a voice message. But if you're social prospecting, expires, FSBOs, withdrawals, people who are already in the real estate market, live in the neighborhood, give them a reason to call you back.
Yeah,
It's
and
just,
like
you know,
in my voicemail too, it's perfect for open houses, because I told them about the open house the first part, and then I said, if you're curious as to the valuation of your home, you can also give me a call back.
And they all went to Josephine's open house.
So they-
Yes, 'cause I had the
She
most of
8
it.
people show up at her open house. All right, so I wanted to spark a little conversation there. I wanted to get people thinking. Okay? Doesn't mean we're gonna necessarily cut something. There might be something else out there that gives us or yields us a higher return. It may not be data. Because the conversation is how many did we convert on expired FSBOs? We're not so invested in expireds and FSBOs right now.
Right.
We're invested on the leverage of having this dialer to contact our list, whatever that list is. Sphere of influence, circle prospecting, just lists, just sold, doesn't matter.
And the most, from what I understand, the most important part of Vulcan 7 is expired. I mean, but
because
that
they
would be,
scrub that list against a lot of people.
and because you can get FSBOs elsewhere and
Yeah.
withdrawn,
Yeah.
or, you know, So what is the expired list of Vulcan and Mojo? What is the dialer of Mojo and Vulcan?
Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna dig a little deep on this and see what kind of deal I can get on Mojo. And I would wanna see the habit from the team. And I do believe that we're gonna get to a place where we're gonna have to schedule dialer usage. And a lot of teams do that. You know, they may be in the morning hour or something, it's a first come, first serve, and then the rest of the day it's scheduled in advance. And we just hold people accountable to that. And so Patty and Arsenio and Brandon, you guys will work together to kind of create something there if we make the decision to move.
If you did Mojo though, are you gonna be doing with their data, or are you gonna keep our data?
I would get rid of Vulcan 7.
And
Yeah,
cool.
because this is the bank account.
Mm-hmm.
This is what will pay
For that.
for Mojo.
Also saving you an extra,
$300.
or not, maybe not even saving, but just dumping into more dialers if the.
Well, I was gonna ask for Vulcan, is there a way we can kind of download or import stuff into Mojo?
Not.
Now you
Yeah,
could.
you can, but not
Yeah.
the
So-
incoming data every day. So like, every time there's a new expired, you won't be getting it. My question is, does Vulcan offer a triple line dialer?
No,
They don't.
they do not have a
Oh,
triple
God,
line
why
dialer.
are we using that?
Cause I think, from my experience, the dialer alone is worth more than the data of Vulcan 7. I'd take
I agree.
Vulcan with the better dialer and less accurate data
Yeah.
any day of the week over more accurate data.
And I agree with that
dialer.
because right now our expired conversion is not.
Not good,
So-
and you cover so much more ground in such a small amount of
Well,
time.
so, I mean, what's the key word here?
Triple.
Triple on.
Triple on.
Wink, wink.
I mean, I'm in business with you guys to not get you to work 24 hours a day.
The universe is a funny thing, man.
So make no mistake, you know, I'm looking to say, well, how can I change costs, because the market's changing. Vulcan did very well for us for a couple of years. How do we change the costs, change the dynamics, get a higher return by not necessarily having to work more time? Now, if you're effing off all day,
Oh,
I'm gonna hold you accountable to saying, hey, you're coming in tomorrow, you're doubling down. You're the one that chose to take the day off, but if you're in hustling and you're doing the activities and you're just not seeing the reward, is there something that the team can do for you to change that trajectory? Okay, so, are we good on this? Who's going to be my point person on Vulcan 7 into Mojo? What does that look like? What's it gonna cost? How are we gonna use it? What's the cost versus? It's gonna be Arsenio? Okay, great. Moving on.
I just have one thing. So something that I love that Sync did, that we lost with the dialers and moving over, is we could put in 2016, and I could see every person that was expired or withdrawn during 2016.
In sync,
Correct.
because we uploaded the data into sync from something else?
From Vulcan, yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
but here's the thing, it was an easy way to filter it. Vulcan 7, I've done many different ways to try to get it to, you know, I can't get it to be such a specific list, and so if I wanted to dial an older expired, like, you know, some people want to do, like, hey, your home value's gone up
Okay.
since then.
So I have the 3-year expired list that I
Right.
bought.
It's just hard to filter to get to that person, to target specific expires.
Okay.
It's just kind of a jumble when we
Got
start
that.
dialing.
But
So-
I actually have the 3-year expired list.
I know, and I would love to call it. What my issue is that there's no good way to filter it out, so I can say, okay, these people expired 3 years ago. This is my conversation with them. I can't. It's a jumble. When I go through older things on
So I
Vulcan,
think that was an import issue, because
No.
we imported the original list into sync, the original list.
right? That's not, it's just there's not a proper way that Vulcan knows how to look for that info.
Is
So
it
okay,
Vulcan
yeah,
or is it Brevity?
I think it's Vulcan,
Because it's a
For-
Vulcan list.
right? But Sync, I could filter it so easily.
So it's a Brevity issue, it's not a Vulcan issue.
But I'm not filtering it through Brevity because I'm dialing through Vulcan. With Sync, I was dialing on Sync. So I could say, okay, this is what I want to dial, and then Sync will grab all of that specific list, and then
Yeah.
I could dial that.
Yeah.
With Vulcan, I can't get so specific.
Okay.
And Brevity's not going to
I
fix
think,
that.
so I would get a hold of Brevity,
Okay?
and I would explain what you're telling me to them, and see if they can't get into the system from the back end and help you filter and find
any of
it.
that.
Work with Patty on that.
That's,
All right.
that's just that system.
What else? Other transitional fixed costs that should be going to the variable? Can we think of anything?
Coffee.
Other fixed costs that can go to variable costs? Yeah. You raised your hand.
Who?
You.
No, I didn't.
I saw you raise it, at least for like,
What?
just stretching.
No.
You're like,
I think you're imagining.
Yeah.
Anything?
I don't have anything.
so explain, what are our fixed costs right now?
So right now, our fixed costs are the platform fee.
Uh-huh.
I have a fixed cost when it comes to buyer leads right now, that come into the system. I have a fixed cost for office, for rents. I have a fixed cost for Amelia. I have a fixed cost for, Ross. I have a fixed cost for Cole, even though it's already paid for the year. I have a fixed cost for Vulcan 7.
We already went over all that.
Offices, rental
Those are my
offices?
only- Those are my only fixed costs. Everything else is variable. Copy's variable. Copy paper's variable. Office expenses are variable. We're averaging 22% on our budget right now, and we should be at 29%.
How about
We're
the
running
open houses?
relatively lean.
How about the landlines?
It's
Those-
not a fixed cost.
Landline is not-
It's a fixed variable cost. I pay the same price,
Okay.
but I don't pay the same price regardless if I use the service or not.
So
So
it's
it's
not
variable.
a monthly
Yeah.
bill.
Yeah.
Okay. Also, I could set up signs as well, if I'd like to, so I can be a sign guy. For now.
Yes, you could.
Arsenio is right. Yes, I'd
Susan's
easily
like,
give that up.
All right, so moving on then, think about it. Doubling your lead gen efforts, yes, now you have a question?
I just remembered, I talked to Patty about it, but I had issues with Brivity.
Oh, Patty is a fixed cost, sorry. Hey Patty, how are you? Patty is a fixed cost for database management.
We can't cut Patty though.
We can't hurt Patty.
Yeah, Brivity's.
What would we do?
They tried to open up the open house thing, the /open house. and
It was
didn't work.
down this weekend, yeah. Brevity was down. Patty knows more about what, why, how, but I was made aware of that this morning. It should be back up, you shouldn't have any issues. And I guess the app was working.
I wasn't Brivity on this weekend.
I wasn't, she says it was down.
It was?
Some people were having issues. Double your lead gen efforts, let's talk about that. I expect more engagement now. Most of you are like, I don't know what we pay, I don't go into CTE.
I think our conversation just before also helps this conversation.
So I noticed when we do bold 100s, seems like everybody can hit their contacts and blow it out of the water before 11, but any other day it's a struggle. So I think, and we've been talking about it for a while now, to block off our lead gen time. And if you're having any other conversation besides with a client or a crucial question, it should be lead gen. Because if we were all doing a bold 100, before 11 o'clock, all of us would have at least 30 contacts, I know. So I think the morning needs to be a drag race to appointments set and hitting our contacts.
So let's get clear on something. How many in this room know that by generating for 2 hours a day, 120 minutes, active outbound lead gen have not mets, every day, 5 days a week, they will make $100,000 or more? How many believe that? Truly believe that? Now, I've got a pretty good idea of the show of hands. How many people in this room are actually lead generating for 2 hours a day, 5 days a week, outbound, have not mets, and having success with that?
I actually am, but it's not as focused as it could be.
I think it takes more than 2 hours.
Okay,
It
so
takes 3.
keep that front of mind. What else?
Follow up, what are we doing with the people that we've talked to?
So we have an extra hour in the day that is the team standard for follow-up.
Yeah.
So if we know that by lead generating 10 hours a week, purposeful, actionable lead generating, that would be 100 to 150 contacts. We would have somewhere between 2 and 5 appointments set. We would have somewhere between 1 and 5 appointments held. That would be somewhere between 20 and 50 deals a year. Why are we not so purposeful in that? And if we're not so purposeful in it, are we making the business decision to say, hey, I'm responsible for my own outcome, I need to lead gen more. I am not that good. So I need to replace my skill with time, and I need to lead gen more frequently, more often, more hours, different hours, more days. Team standard is 120 minutes, 5 days a week, 1 hour a day follow-up, 5 days a week. Script practice, 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week. But what is your standard? What is your standard? Are you on the phone between 4 and 6 at night? Are you actually following up with people that are in your pipeline? Are you putting notes into Brevity? Are you putting to-do lists and tasks and calendars, and are you holding yourself accountable to that? Are you going on appointments? You know, Brett talked in his last training, Brett Canner, the coach, he said, you know, he went back and looked at how many of his agents unqualified a lead. Who can tell me what unqualifying a lead means?
Talk himself out of an appointment.
Yeah. They talk themselves out of, well, I would, but I gotta go to dinner with my wife that night. Oh, I would, but I got a flight that day. I would, but, oh yeah, I would, but. Oh, Friday, 5 o'clock, yeah, the game's on. For whatever reason, they talk themselves out of the appointment. Do you know that it was 90 appointments a month on average for his team? And he went purposely and went and looked at all of those appointments. 50% of them, on average, went to contract with someone else. So the team standard is, let's start here, and let's make sure that we are in a relationship that's meaningful and purposeful, and that you can do the minimum standards that will get you $100,000. Your standard should be above that. Your standard should be, I will work as long and as hard and as many days as I need to work to hit whatever it is that I want to hit. And that's not for me to decide. That's me to hold you. It's for me to hold you accountable, but it's not for me to decide. Some of you have a job, a career, a husband, a wife, a kid, an alien parent, whatever. You've got something in your life that says, I have to do what I have to do in the confines of this time frame, and the money I make needs to help this, needs to go to that. So I want you guys to get real purposeful and say, no, I will work 12 hours a day if I need to work 12 hours a day. And I will hold myself accountable to the activities that I do in the time that I give myself. I mean, how many of you, and some of you know me well, some of you don't, how many of you guys think that I am successful with my calendar less than 50% of the time, 50% of the day? How many of you would say that I am successful to my calendar 50 to 75% of the time every day? And how many how many in this room would think that I'm successful with my calendar 75% to 100% of the time? Yeah, I really strive for that 75%.
I agree. I think for sure you're at least.
And I would say that in the last 3 months, I have been hovering somewhere between 50 and 70%. And when you want to know when Craig gets into a mood, it's because his calendar is going sideways. And he feels like he's being pulled in multiple directions. I load up my calendar every day with things that I have to get done, just like you do. I have my lead gen, just like you do. And here's the best part. Most of you influence my calendar. Like, I don't actually have the luxury of saying, well, I do, but I choose not to have the luxury of saying, oh, you know what? I'm available tomorrow at 3 o'clock. I'm available next Tuesday at 4 o'clock. I'm available right now. because I don't know what all is on my calendar. It changes so frequently, so I have to refer you to someone else. You're in charge of your calendar for the most part. Some of you share similar challenges, some of you have kids, and, you know, kid gets sick, kid has this, I mean, I get it, I understand. But for the most part, you have more control of your calendar. There's no excuse though. There's no excuse. Are we really purposeful with the time that we have? I dislike more than anything walking out of the office for the day, not hitting everything on my list. I dislike that. And I will come in early the next morning. I will go home and I will work from home. My intention is to always be done somewhere between 5 and 7. That's my intention every day. But I will work until 8 p.m. At 8 p.m., I lost the day. I know I shut off at 8, I have lost the day. And I will come back in early next morning. And there are days that I have been in this office at 4 o'clock in the morning. Because I will get what I need to get done. I got nobody to rely on me. Many of you in this room have nobody to rely on you, or nobody that you rely on. I wouldn't have it any other way. You want to talk about high level of accountability? Have a lot of bills. Have mouths to feed. Have parents, you know, that need your support. That'll get your ass out of bed in the morning. So when you're focusing on your goals, I want you to really think about, am I doubling my efforts? Because if you really want to be successful, if you really want to get out in front of this market that's shifting and these agents that are going to do 1, 2, 10 deals a year, and they're going to take one of them away from you, get pissed about that. Get upset about that. Say, no, damn it, I am the best agent. I'm the one that's going to work full time. I'm the one that's going to communicate at a high level. I'm the one that's going to be there when you have a question, comment, concern, or derogatory remark. I am better than those other agents out there, and I will prove it to you. Sell yourself to yourself first. And let me tell you, when you do that, when you know in your heart that you're the best damn real estate agent out there, because it's not about selling the home, it's about understanding what your client truly, really needs, and then delivering upon that, even at the expense of selling them a home, you will make a shit ton of money. And you will give a lot of that away, and it will go to things that it needs to go to. But that's a different mindset. But don't lose sight as to why you're doing what you're doing. Like, it's gonna get tough for the next 18 months, I'm gonna guess, as we're like going down. You know, it's never a problem. Like, life is always good going up to the top of the hill on the roller coaster, right? We don't get too scared. We're like laughing, taking photos, looking over the edge, it's going slow, click, 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 click. But I kid you not, even the avid roller coaster tightens up a little when that thing starts going down. And then you get through the first couple of turns, and now it's not so exciting anymore. You're on a roller coaster. There is no difference. And for the next 9 to 18 months, we're going to be going down the hill, and we're going to be going through a couple of turns. And are you prepared? Are you holding on tight? Is your hands in the air? Are you covering the mouth of the person next to you so that they don't throw all that stuff on you? What are you doing? Okay? And are you doubling down? Some of you in this room, you don't hit the minimum standard. You don't hit it. You've got a bucket full of excuses and nowhere to dump them. The market, and there's nothing the team can do to save you on that. We can hold you accountable showing up. We can hold you accountable plugging in. We can hold you accountable to setting the appointments, having the conversations. We cannot hold you accountable to doing your job. The market will eat you up, and you will leave the team, and you will get out of real estate. And that's okay. That's okay. And then some of you will double down. Like, you'll be like, yeah, I have totally I've totally missed the mark, I've totally, taken this as like a part-time job, and, I'm in it for the fun, and then I get it. I'm not gonna sit here and be a hypocrite, man. I was never supposed to be in real estate sales. I fought this thing, and when it finally kind of hit me, it hit me. And I'm all in now. I'm all in. And I will double down. And so, I'm not even sure 35 contacts a day, one appointment set, is enough for some of you. If some of you are working 8 to 10 hours a day in your real estate business, you could be at 110 to 200 contacts a day, 5 to 6 appointments set. Now imagine if you did that every day for 5 days.
Now, I do have a question about that. I think those are very good numbers for an ISA, but as an agent, so for the first month, maybe you worked that, just playing devil's advocate, you worked that 8 hours a day, I'm just nothing but lead gen, 'cause I ain't got nothing else to do. But then that month comes along, and now I've got a plethora of things, so then your mindset changes, or is that when you start leveraging people?
If you need to, the lead gen always needs to come first though.
What are you committed to? That's the question. Because what you're doing is you're giving me a hypothetical, and you're saying, I busted my butt for a month.
Well, now
I get it.
Well, now, and so now I'm in month 2, now I have contracts.
Now you have business.
Now I have business, I have
So
contracts to negotiate.
What are you committed to?
Yeah, but once you get those contracts, it's supposed to go over to transaction coordinator. So
Well,
you do have
so a
time
real
to
estate
lead gen.
agent's job is to
Just
lead
sell.
gen, follow up, go on appointments, negotiate deals,
So, but,
and role play.
so then, but I mean, you're right, absolutely right, but at
Right.
one point, something does tip, and I physically can no longer lead gen for 8 hours a day. If I'm
I would have a different response than you would.
if I'm
I
negotiating-
cannot physically go and negotiate the contracts, I cannot physically go and show the homes.
So
One thing I'm really good at, that I'm gonna stick to, is the lead gen.
Cause you can
Could
get
you-
a showing and
I'll
stuff.
outsource.
Yeah,
I'll
delegate.
outsource the showings.
So then you leverage.
yes,
You le-
Delegate.
you leverage.
Yeah, we don't give up on the lead gen. That is the bank. That is the money-making activity.
I think what he's saying, like, you can lead gen, but not for 8 hours, but less than that, probably.
I get that.
You're still lead gen.
And on some of your calendars, it says, negotiate deals, work with client, unless no client, then lead gen.
Yeah.
Like mine in the afternoon says lead gen / appointment. book.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so that's fine.
Yeah.
And then, this miraculous thing is gonna happen. At some point, you as an empire builder and you as a business owner are gonna look at your business and you're gonna come to me and you're gonna go, Craig, oh my gosh, I tracked my activity for 90 days. I need somebody to just go on my appointments that I can pay them to do this 80%. What do you suggest?
So then, or you, vice versa, I need somebody to lead gen for me while I go on my appointments. Because,
That's
That's
the
why I
ISA.
said in the very beginning here, what is your priority?
because I get lead gen is the moneymaker,
Uh-huh.
but appointments would be your higher opportunity of making money if you have someone else lead gen for your appointments, right?
Not necessarily. Not necessarily. And here's why. You're a high I. Your value is being in front of the person.
Yes, this,
I'm not. My value is setting all the appointments, letting other people go on.
I feel like you too.
If I can set 5 appointments in the time that you go on one, and I can split that cost and still make 25 to 30% more money than by doing it myself and going on the appointment. So it's just a different priority. And there's no wrong answer. It's you saying, oh my gosh, I've done it this way, and now I need to leverage, that's what the conversation is. Then we're gonna say, well, is your highest opportunity you going on the appointments because that's how you got them, is your personal connection? And so we need to now replace you as a lead gen source? Or is your highest opportunity setting the expectation that you're gonna send out a previewing specialist to look at your home and take down some notes, and I'll call you to to go over the details and decide final pricing. Did you ever have to leave your office?
Guess not really look at it that way.
Because you're not there yet, but you will get there.
Okay.
If you're setting 5 appointments a week, and you're holding 5 appointments a week, or 5 appointments a day and you're holding 5 appointments a week, is the conversation going to be, I can't do any more appointments than this, or I can do an extra appointment held per week, an extra 2 appointments set, if I had someone else doing this? Because 4 out of 5 sellers will list with the first person they come in contact with. So is it really about you, or did you just make it about you? And that's what Brandon's gonna talk about on Monday, is like, are we selling ourselves a little too hard when we don't need to be? Can we sell ourselves a little to a couple more people and get more business? Because people are not loyal to you. They're loyal to the principles that you instill upon them. But they're not loyal to you. Contrary to popular belief. Tight sphere of influence might be the exception. Might be.
Not even that.
I don't disagree with you. So if the job is to double down the lead gen efforts, that's where I want your mindset. Because we will jump in and help you overcome that mess. That's a great mess. That's a good problem. I got so much business, I can't lead gen. Bad answer. Wrong answer. I'm so good at lead genning, I need an assistant just to help me in my business. I need a buyer's agent just to go on all my fluff. Great, marketing team. Let's go ahead and put that into place.
A lot of like agents like have like their assistant just through the lead generation for them because they don't have.
A lot of agents have the leads in order to hire an assistant to do the back end and then have the buyer to do the front end. So you're right, and that's model. We're not getting off the model.
Yeah.
But you start at ground zero. Craig was an awesome lead gen. Okay, I lead gen. I was really good at it. I paid for leads. I got on the phone. I did my thing, and I had a lot of leads. And I had a couple buyers agents to farm those leads. And then the business grew from there. So let's not get away from the roots. That's a good problem. And you're at high I, and so you think I got to be the connector with the person. No, you have to be the influencer with the person.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to shift that mindset. First, we're going to double down on your lead gen efforts. Triple lead conversion to appointments. So we've got to go on more appointments. And so I know, and this is I'm going to contradict what I was talking about, but we are going to go on every appointment that will allow us to go on, provided it's qualified, not well qualified. For some of you, you're going to go on every physical appointment. Now, Brandon would encourage you not to say you have a buyer because you're just gonna, it's a slow, painful death. You're gonna get immediate gratification, you're gonna get in the door, but you're gonna spin your wheels. Your costs of going on those appointments are gonna increase.
Let's just say this, don't make appointments to put a dot on the board. Make an appointment to get yourself a paycheck.
Make an appointment to put a dot on the other board.
Yeah.
Don't
Call it a comma.
Yeah, like don't go on an appointment just to say, hey, I've got an appointment set, so you have that gratification of doing that. That's not why we do dots, or the reason we say we need an appointment set. We get it, we put that there, and we put that in place so that it's a way to measure that you're doing the activity. But don't go set a terrible appointment on purpose that you know is not gonna result you in anything but a waste of your time and gas, just to say, hey, at least I had an appointment.
So there are people in this office that really focus on that dot board. I was gonna say, I actually kind of have to put that with ISAs, because their job is to make the appointment, and it's your guys' job as their real estate agents that we're passing it to qualify here, that we're not. So ISAs make that appointment. Their job is to know if it's.
My only thing is if you get to the end of the day.
Good clarification, you're right, you're correct.
And I agree. My thing is though, is don't call for sale by owner and say, hey, hey, I might have a buyer for you. Are you paying an agent? They're like, yeah, 1%. Okay, fantastic. Is it okay if I just come over and look at the house today? I have a buyer for you.
Yeah.
like, that's not going to yield you anything.
Yeah.
It's not the best use of an agent's time. And when an ISA is making an appointment for an agent, that is not a qualified appointment. I mean, your client is the agent. And so when you send an agent on a couple of these appointments, where they walk in the front door, well, I told that guy that I wasn't, trust me.
Well, that's why we have the hot sheets.
They quickly don't become available to go on your that particular ISA's appointments anymore. So you're both right, and what metrics are in place for you and your teams to say, hey, listen, we're not focusing on the dots on the board out there, agent dots, because that doesn't guarantee a paycheck. And I love it when I see an agent convert out of the dot board. And we were all there. I mean, I was like, when I started here, it was all about the dot board. Tracy will even tell you. She was like, oh, I would hover over that dot board and be like, I need a dot up here. We would get Yogis, and I'd be like, your number one job in the world is to make sure dots get on the board as soon as somebody goes under the MLS.
I feel like that, I used to feel like that with our dot board in our office. I never really cared about that.
Because the evolution for an agent is momentum, production,
Hold.
and then profitability.
And then bold is just the straight line.
So when you're a brand new agent and you've never done a deal and you've only paid money to get your license, it's all about the dots. It's all about the dots. I'm not gonna lie to you, it's all about the dots. Let's just get something up, and then I wanna get you through production. Let's get a lot of those up. And then I wanna get you to readjust your focus on checks. And so the agents out there right now, you know, it's funny, because they'll put like 15 dots up, and they're like, and we all sit there like,
Yeah, but how many
Okay.
have closed?
yeah, exactly. Let's wait until the quarter's done, and we can see who's closing more
Oh,
deals.
no.
Because we can put dots up all day long.
There should be a dot board for checks picked up.
Well, it's called the top down. But
Yeah, top down.
Deposits made.
yeah. So, like, I like to get the people's mindset to shift. And so I get really excited when people stop focusing on, like, you know, they get a bunch of dots out and like, and all of a sudden they're like, well, yeah, you know, because, yeah, well, you know, mine are long contracts and I'm focusing on, okay, cool. You're starting to understand that a dot up does not mean a check. And slow and steady, slow and steady. I mean, we used to joke, because there were months when we would do like 25 dots up on the board, and people would be like, oh my God, we got some. I said, that's a problem. That's not good. That's us like turning on the fire one day and going, oh my gosh, I see projections and we're not hitting numbers, and we turn on the fire and all of a sudden we go and we take a whole bunch of listings, or we work with a whole bunch of buyers. And all of a sudden we get 10, 15, 20 dots on the board. And then, Connor's not in the room, and then, oh my gosh, I have all this business, I can't produce more, I can't prospect anymore. And 45 days later, the gas comes off and we start to slow down again. And then I go in and I put gas on the fire, and like 20 dots on the board is not good. 4, 5, 6 dots every month, every month, every month, every month, every month is awesome. Maybe increasing that by 10%. That's awesome. Okay? So, focus on that. And what you focus on expands. And right now, we're not focusing on contacts anymore. I would love for some of you to sit here in the next couple of weeks and say, you know what, I made 30 contacts and I set 2 appointments. Love that. Awesome. What did you do differently? I just got really purposeful. I focused on a script. I got internalized and used that as the objections at my script practice. I started YouTubing other people that are, you know, doing FSBOs at a high level, or sign calls. Awesome, because now you're tripling down on your lead conversion. You're doing the activities, but now you're focusing on the results. You're focusing on what conversations am I having? Am I having better conversations? Am I increasing the price point? Okay, first 18 months in real estate, we'll talk to anybody. If you've got a pulse and a home, we will talk to you. And at some point, You say, I can't work with everybody, so now how do I make more money and do less deals? And you become a Tracy. And you're like, I got $100,000 one, I don't want it. I know, but I have to work with the $400,000. Kidding, this is not her. I have to work with $400,000 one.
Tracy.
And I don't have that much time. But it is, it's leverage. Like at some point, you say to yourself, all right, I'm working with $500,000 deals. And you now you've got to graduate to a higher level. So you got to increase your price point. So you move from a $200,000 neighborhood to a $350,000 neighborhood to a $550,000 neighborhood because you realize I only have X amount of time in the day. I can only lead gen for so long. Kids have to be bathed, dinner, and in bed by 8. Like, there are things in your world that are not negotiable.
Right.
So how do you do more with less?
Yeah.
Okay? So you need to triple down. So one of the things, like we're talking about systems, we're talking, will you guys quit passing love letters?
Who?
Triple line dialer, triple the activity, triple the property price. You want to make more money? Don't focus on the $100,000 deals. Don't focus on them. Pass those off to another agent and says, you know what? You are going to hustle on this. Yeah. Missed your opportunity. Hold your thought. Say to a new agent, you know what? Listen, I'm good over here. Like I've got my pipeline. I'm running it. I'm working it. I'm doing my thing. Here you go. We'll split this one. Because you can give this client more energy, effort than I can. So let's just go into business on this deal together. Okay? Increased talent recruiting efforts, I'm not going to focus a lot on it. Half of you are here because of the product of that. Training efforts. Let's talk about that. What can we do that we're not doing when it comes to training? And no, actually, I don't want to skip this because all of you in this room have the opportunity to make more money than you do right now through what's called profit share. Who in this room can tell me what profit share is?
Pyramid.
Who in this room has ever received a profit share check? Okay, so tell me what it is.
An MLM without being an MLM.
Yeah.
You got a profit share?
Pyramid.
I mean, it essentially is you put people in your downline, and
Yeah.
when they make money, you make money. When you make money, your next person makes money, and when that person
So where does the money come from?
comes from the profit.
Their
of the market
production.
center.
Okay.
Closed transactions.
So you have a little bit of correctness in what you're saying, and I don't think there's a lot of clarity. Go ahead.
So every time a person does a transaction, Keller Williams International takes a small piece of that, which is your split to the market center.
Yeah,
That
company dollar.
split- That split that market center takes, a small piece of that goes to whoever sponsored that agent.
Okay.
And once that agent caps, is there still profit share that comes in, or is it cut for that person at that point? It still does. correct?
So I will explain that. So you're a little clearer. So, all right, here's how profit share works in a very nitty gritty, Craig Tiffy fashion. Because I came to Keller Williams thinking, oh my God, I'm at Amway. And I didn't focus on profit share at all. Like I was resistant to it. With my legal background, I looked at it and I'm like, I know I'm not even getting into it. Here's what it is. Keller Williams International doesn't take any profitability from the market center. They take franchise fees. They do not take profitability of the market center. The owners of the market center share up to 50% of that month's profitability back to the people that help generate the profit through company dollar. Therefore, it is not multi-level marketing because it's not our money. It's the owner's profits that are being put back into the people almost through revenue share, almost. But the difference between revenue share and profit share is it's not how much money that was generated, it's how much money was made, how much money was netted and profit.
And it's market center by market center.
It's specific to the market center. So Craig Tiffy is a brand new agent. He gets his license. He hangs into Keller Williams Marketplace 1. He knows that $3 million in production is going to roughly generate $18,000 worth of commission split to the market center. Yeah, so $3 million, and it would be about 1.2 to 1.5 of a half capper. So between June and July 15th, he does enough production that he pays $18,000 to Keller Williams Marketplace One. 15,000 of that went to the market center as profit, what we call company dollar, and $3,000 went to international.
Which is your franchise fee?
Which is, no.
No. Oh.
Yes, it is my franchise fee, it's not the market center's franchise
Got
fee.
you, okay.
So it went to Keller Williams International. So Keller Williams says, hey, Marketplace One, you were profitable this month because Craig paid into company dollar, and John paid into company dollar, and Ed paid into company dollar, and Tanya paid into company dollar, and all of you guys paid into company dollar, and you were not capped. So therefore, we're going to get a portion of your company dollar that these guys all paid back to them. We're going to give a little, and you're going to give a little. And based on your profitability, we will allow you to scale that. So if you're profitable between this percent and this percent, you're going to give this percent back. If you're profitable between this and this, you're going to give this percent back. And we're going to kind of match that. Okay? So what happened is, Craig was sponsored by Ed. So Ed is at the top of Craig's tree.
That's doing pretty good.
So Craig pays, in 1 month, he pays $18,000. Well, between Craig and Ed is Craig's partner, Beto. Because Beto owns 50% of Craig's company. And so Beto is in there. So Beto gets a check for about $1,700 that month.
Really?
And did so.
And Ed gets a check for about $580. And then there's some people that get a check for $30, $50, $100
Really?
off of Craig's production. Now, July, Craig, or August 1st, Craig is capped. And Craig does another $3 million in production. Beto gets nothing. Ed gets nothing.
But Craig gets an extra $18,000.
Yes. Craig gets to keep an extra $18,000.
Like, let's not talk about it.
Exactly. So that would be an extreme case.
So once you cap, profit share is no longer there.
That is correct.
That's monthly, not yearly?
For a mega agent, so a rainmaker, it's
That's an
18,000.
example.
For
He
an
capped
agent
it.
on the team, it's a half cap, and so it's 10,500.
The cap is
75 and 3.
It took a month to
It's
get
not
there.
half.
That's what we're going with.
It's 10, yeah, it's 7,500 at the market center instead of 15, and then it's 3,000 at RI. So now let's take another agent. So now Craig has an agent under him. And then that agent has an agent under him. And then that agent has an agent under her.
So-
7D.
So Craig just built
As
this up.
wide as you want, 7D. Okay? So what happens is, every month, because someone closed a deal. I don't even know who all was in my downline. Somebody closed a deal, Craig would get, a couple $100. Or their sponsor, who was Craig's sponsor, would get a couple $100. And then that adds up.
So whoever brings the person to your team, that's the one who.
No.
No.
The way the rules are is the person who was most influential in bringing you to Keller Williams Marketplace.
Yeah.
Okay? So you might have joined, I don't want this to turn into a profit share class because I want to get through the other two things. But I think that some of you, like this could be you may suck at selling homes and you may be awesome at recruiting.
I think Shannon, she got me, she got her.
So, but it's not about bringing you to a different office. It's about getting you to join.
Yeah.
Okay? So some of you though, like this could be your thing. There are agents in Keller Williams that do $1 million a year in profit share. They don't sell a home.
Doesn't Tom Ferry, doesn't he do that? No? Because he doesn't sell any homes.
He's a coach.
Okay, so
Yeah.
he doesn't do any of that.
No. Okay. No, he's a coach.
Okay.
So when you are, hold the thought for just a second. So when you are talking to other agents who are not at Keller Williams, and you're encouraging them to get into real estate, are you the most influential person? connector
That's what they
is
should
not
do.
somebody who's necessarily the most influential person.
And who
Okay.
determines that?
Huh?
Who determines that?
That
The
person,
agent determines that.
and it's usually
Yeah.
Craig.
For instance, there was somebody in the room that came to me and said, hey, I'm not exactly sure. Should I name you? And I said, stop. Who's the most influential person? And then we had a conversation about, well, how do you know about me? How did you get here? Where did that, where does the person that knows you, how do they know me? And are they the most influential person that brought you to Keller Williams? Or were they a connector?
What if you just go on the website and you click for it?
So I mean, I could use you as the example,
Okay,
because you haven't signed the paperwork yet. How did you hear about us?
on
On the website?
Yeah.
And then you did what?
came in for the real time,
Okay, and who did you meet?
Nate,
Okay, and then you came to Real Talk?
yeah.
Okay, and what made you decide to come to Keller Williams Marketplace One?
Who you talking to?
Well, your presentation.
Be specific.
Your presentation when the broker.
Okay.
The broker was influential.
Okay, so if you had to sign your name on the dotted line and name a sponsor today, who would you name and why?
Well, Nate also invited me and spoke to me on the phone.
Okay, and how do you know Nate?
He called and invited me.
And what's Nate's relationship to me?
So now you're saying that.
I didn't wanna influence her.
Yeah, he's a recruiter.
Okay, and
So you would-
Nate is a recruiter for who?
For you.
Okay,
So
So-
he would get credit for bringing me in.
so when you're naming a sponsor, is Nate the most influential person that brought you to Keller
Yeah.
Williams?
Well, no, I mean, I chose to call, but he's the one that spoke to me and invited me and gave me the details.
Okay.
Yes,
So then you would name Nate.
Nate.
And if somebody else had the same conversation and I wanted to dive a little deeper, the conversation would be, Nate works for me. I pay Nate to bring you into the space.
How you do?
So Nate's job is to say, you know what, I appreciate that. However, you need to name Craig because I'm just doing my job for Craig.
Oh, I see. So we put our opinion and then you guys interpret it.
I don't interpret it. I'm not in that room.
And you don't influence.
And I don't influence. I refuse to influence directly, and believe it or not, I just influenced indirectly at a high level.
So who interprets who makes the decision?
If you can't make the decision, they tell you to go out of the room and
No,
go
no.
figure it out.
No, or the person.
You make that
You,
decision.
of course.
It's your job.
Oh, okay.
Because once you make the decision, you can't take it back.
So basically it's your initial contact. into-
No.
No, it's not. It's
Most
whoever-
influential person.
Well, that was the only person I talked to.
No.
No.
You came to my class.
Yeah,
You had conversations with me. Did you sit down and have a one-on-one with me?
no. Later, yeah.
Okay, you're still having one. You haven't signed yet, which is why I'm using you as the example.
So you're using all of that up until you sign?
Absolutely.
Oh.
It's like, who pushed you over the edge? Who
Yeah.
convinced
Right.
you enough
Who
to
made
be
you
like, okay,
jump?
I'm coming in?
He'll be like, I'm gonna join because he told me, he
Oh, okay.
he
No,
influenced
you
me.
enjoy because I enjoy because it was Shannon brought me here, she influenced me here, but I only joined Cal Williams because him.
And who did you name?
I
Yeah.
named her.
Yeah, and that's right. She was the most influential
Yes.
person.
Yes,
I was the deciding factor.
yes.
And like, I don't know who names whoever
Right,
until like 2-3 months later.
I know she named you.
Well, I wouldn't have met you unless Nate had invited me. But then once I got here, I might have said, if I hadn't met you, I might have not joined.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
This
So,
is the influence.
so I get a little strategic in
Yeah.
my business now,
Uh-huh.
because for 3 years I didn't focus on profit share. It was not my focus, and now I'm being purposeful. And now I'm actually strategically trying to align people under me, and then get them into relationships where they can influence other people and grow their downline, because guess what, I still benefit.
Mhm.
Like, I'm getting very purposeful about that now, yes.
So my bottom line, cause like I'm kind of a big picture kind of person, at the bottom, what are we looking at, say I sold a home, I'm under whoever, and I sell a home, what percentage am I getting from that home?
So, are you talking in commission splits, you talk about, profit share.
I'm talking, well, I
Profit
guess
share,
both.
Okay.
profit share
So-
doesn't come out of your check. It
Yeah.
comes out of, it comes out of.
Profitability.
Yeah, exactly,
Right.
so when the market center, cause every time you close a deal, the market center is gonna take a piece of that,
Okay,
Yeah.
off the bat, that's what's
right,
happening.
that's what I'm talking about, so like, what
Profit
is it,
share
like
gets
3% or?
It's,
It's not,
Like,
it's,
of the-
no,
of
it
the
isn't.
home?
So what I can tell you is it's 50% to the person directly below you, and then it drops to like 12, 5, 5, 5, 12, 25%.
you're confusing her.
Yeah.
No, no, no.
70-30. It's 70-30. The market center takes 30%, the agent takes 70% until you cap.
And
Once you
of that-
cap, it's 100%.
And of that 30%, they take a chunk
Out of
to
that
the
30.
profit share.
Okay, so we are making 70% of the closing costs, or
No,
what?
I got what you're saying, yeah,
Sorry.
yeah, so,
Yeah.
so here's how the commission
Okay.
structure works, and then it'll answer your profitability,
Are you doing this as a solo agent or a team agent?
So, look, we're gonna do a team, okay? So you did a $200,000 deal,
Pyramid.
okay? A $200,000 deal. That $200,000 deal was, and it was a buyer, was at 3%. So 3% of $200,000 is what, 6,000, right?
Yes.
So there was a $6,000 gross commission check that came into the market center under Team Tiffy's name as you as the agent, okay? That gets divided. We're gonna assume that this was a buyer lead and it was at 50-50 split. If you look at your independent contractor agreement, there's some variables, but let's just do, for the sake of argument, it was a 50-50 split. So 50% is gonna go to you as the agent, and then 50% is gonna go to Team Tiffy.
That's after the market center split.
No, this is before.
Yes.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
so-
Then,
Now it should
Before
take
that.
26%.
this is where her question comes up.
Then
So the
26%.
team is going to pay 36% of that until we have paid 18K. You are going to pay 26% of it until you pay 10,500. Once you have paid $10,500 to the market center within your anniversary period, which is the
1
month
year.
that you started, I started in June, so Team Tiffy is June 1st. If you pay that in 3 months, you get to keep 9 months of 100% of your commission. While you're paying company dollars, so while you're paying into this, the people who have sponsored you are in position to receive profit share from your earnings, provided that the market center was profitable.
From that
Now,
means-
I have never been in an unprofitable month at this office. In part, we chose this office because it's a profitable market center. Okay, we have had, like, the winter months are least profitable, the summer months are more, but that's just the real estate market in general.
Does the marketplace include that, or is it?
It's
it
marketplace one,
Marketplace one, so it's not owner specific,
Correct.
it's marketplace specific.
yeah.
Got it.
Yep, okay, and so then, so in our example here, from June to July 17th, Team Tiffy paid $18,000. So from July 17th until June or,
July.
April, May 31st, Team Tiffy gets 100% of their commission.
That doesn't influence the agent at all.
Has no influence on the agent, has nothing to do with the agent. For us, we know we're going to pay $18,000 as a cost of sales. It's in our budget, it's a line item, it's a tax deduction for my team. It's a cost of sales. You should also have in your cost of sales that you're gonna pay $10,500. Now, we did the math, and I'll say, because this is not a public event, but at Real Talk, I talked about another brokerage. That $178,000, if I went to a dependent brokerage that did a commission split and I bought down all the way to a 90-10 split, I would have paid them $170,000 in commission, based off the volume that we do.
We
Okay.
paid 18,000.
We pay 18. And it's a cost of sales. I know what I'm gonna pay. If I could pay it on June 1st every year, I would. The problem is they're gonna hold it in a fund that I don't get any interest off of, and then as we close the deals, they'll take it from the fund. I'm like, well, that doesn't really serve me any good use, so we just pay. And so, yeah, the goal is to cap as fast as possible. Okay, and you're on a half cap, so 26% versus 36%, 7,500 to Marketplace One, 3,000 to Keller Williams International, 15,000 to Marketplace One, 3,000 to International.
Does an agent in production get any of that back without downline, or you have to have downline?
You have to name somebody. I don't get any of it back.
No, I mean, like, so I named you.
Yeah.
I don't have anybody that named me.
Okay.
I did 10,500 in deals. Do
Okay.
I get any of that back as an agent?
No.
It's just the upline.
You want to name people below you.
So that way I will get
Yes.
theirs.
Now,
So
if you
I-
came to Keller Williams with a partnership,
Uh-huh.
you came to Keller Williams with some sort of corporation, you could have adjusted the way that you're using your profit share.
Got, like
You
what
could
you
have done that. Yeah.
Got you.
And, I mean, I fell into it, and for me, it's not as much of a bonus as you think it is, because guess what? It's income.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
income. It's not a positive. And I can't even put that money back into the business. Because it didn't come from the business. So profit share is a double-edged sword. It is.
Cool.
Okay, do something else with that money, because you're gonna pay taxes on it. You can't dump it back into your business pre-tax. You can't. It's passive income. So use it as an investment for something else, get it to something else, give it away, like if you tithe, 10% of your income every year or whatever, like use that to tithe. Okay, because at least you can write it off that way. Okay, but meet with a tax attorney or an accountant to get through that.
I can't give you advice.
Disclaimer.
Yeah, right. So there are ways that you can grow your business. Okay, some of the other things that we do, we have, I don't know, I think Tracy might still be, there's a couple in this room, maybe, our credit repair lady. So I'm an agent with Cynthia Davis with Financial Education Services.
Hi everyone, Shop on the Road is here if you'd like to get something to eat.
So when I refer people to credit repair and they sign up, I get passive income from that. And it adds up.
How does one do that? I mean, I want to have a conversation about that
Okay.
a little bit later date.
Yeah, either myself or Tracy. Are you still doing it? Yeah, so either myself or Tracy. Tracy's like, me.
Fuck me.
Yeah, the same, but that's the same thing that happens. And so, I mean, there was a time 2 summers ago that I was doing $1,000 a month in credit repair passive income. I'm averaging like 200 a month now, because I don't think we're very purposeful as a team getting people into credit repair. We park them. But Larry's, because our lenders can't, it's a conflict of interest for them, so they can't. But they have their own credit people, they just can't make any money off of it. So we would tell our lenders every time we sent somebody and they needed credit repair, they had to send them back to our people. And I'm telling you, like Cynthia, they're great. They do a great job. They take care of business. I knew Cynthia before I got into real estate. She was my credit repair lady at my law office. So, yeah. There's many things that can be done to generate additional wealth. Okay, and so you should consider those things. All right, let's finish up in a couple of minutes. Be visible. You be visible as well. This doesn't just play to me. Are you out there in front of your sphere of influence? Do they know what's happening with the market? When you go to the grocery store, are you wearing a name tag? Some of you don't enjoy conversations.
Get made fun of all the time.
So when you want, there are other people out there that are more social than you. Give them something to talk to you about. You want to get down and dirty in the conversation? Put your name tag on.
I did that.
Put
Wear
on the
your
back
shirt.
of your shirt.
Oh, you're in real estate? Oh yeah, I got a sister and a brother, next door neighbor, my best friend, and my wife. They're all in real estate too.
Oh,
Wow, do you know them? Have the conversation. No, they sell a lot of homes. Yeah, I'd love to meet them. Love to have a conversation with them. What are their names?
Oh, you forgot.
Can I call them? Can I let them know that you're referring me to them? Love to help them grow the business. Love to help them sell more homes.
I got a lot of that when I was calling spirits of the Volks.
Yeah.
Oh, my cousin's uncle's a real estate agent. Oh, my husband's going into real estate.
My sister's cat.
Great. How are they doing with the shifting market?
Like, my cat's real smart.
So what you say matters. Any questions on these? Any challenges we foresee? Are you all kind of looking inside and going, what do I need to do differently that I'm not doing right now? Yeah? Someone okay? Anything? Alright, so we have two options. We can take a quick break, or I can take 15 minutes and go through the sales meeting.
15 minutes and meetings.
Yeah, I'm hungry, let's
And
go.
I have a t-shirt idea.
What?
I like to just see the ones that we've already bought and paid for.
I know, where's I love RE? I'm waiting for that
Tracy
one.
had a wonderful comment
Yeah?
about how, our t-shirts are very clearly
It's just too much,
related to real estate,
it's
there's
too
a lot
much
of stuff
stuff,
on them.
like it just makes, and you can't tell what it says, cause it's like gold and then black.
So it's not immediately noticeable.
So I
Yeah.
propose that the shirts
Say
that
gold?
the
Yeah,
black
it's
and
gold.
gold shirt
Black and gold.
that we
That
have.
was my high school.
Any
We don't use
t-shirt,
that
Oh,
anymore. We
yeah,
don't
yeah,
it
use
kind
that.
of just, it kind of just looks like a t-shirt.
I propose-
I know what you mean.
I
It looks,
propose
there's
that
like a
it says
t-shirt. It's
in
not so
all
special.
big
You don't notice
bold-faced letters in the back, my team sells houses.
How,
How about I sell
how
houses?
do we
I
go
would say I.
through? How
I-
much,
my
how
team
much
sells
does a shirt like the one you're wearing cost in bulk?
Yeah, I like that material
Polo
better.
shirts are,
Well,
those are
just a
expensive.
polo, just a nice polo.
Those are expensive.
I buy them at Family Reunion, and I'm gonna guess I pay probably $40 to $60 for this one. 'Cause
Those are
it's-
expensive.
It's a Nike shirt, yeah, they're expensive. And I think we can get them through KW Online, or we can have our own made, because we have licensing rights for luxury.
Right.
We can.
Well, I mean,
do our own
I'm just
stuff.
saying Team Tiffy.
Yeah.
Just cause I like, you know, just a nice polo instead of, and then you could wear that to the Real Talks or.
So 10 escrows
Be
by the
my
end of
shirt.
the year, and we will order embroidered black shirts,
I like it.
like
Embroidered.
a ladies version and a men's version, that say something like this.
I like it.
Yep. Either a Nike or a Under Armour.
And I'm,
10 escrows open between now and December 31st.
Will they be breathable?
bet.
Why, you gonna wear it to the gym?
I'll
I
ask
was
them.
thinking golfing.
Well, yeah, these are, I think they're like golf shirts, and this is a pretty breathable shirt. Alright, so, thanks. Moving on.
No, thank you.
Alright, social media posts. How many hit their social media? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4.5. Some people are just scratching
Video,
their
you
heads.
mean video, right?
Video.
Yes, okay.
Social media video. Who didn't hit their social media video and why? John.
No excuse, I just didn't get around to it.
Brandon.
I got caught up folding the dishes.
But you posted a photo on
Folding dishes.
Facebook. That went
that's-
viral, by the way.
That's so easy.
Yeah.
What photo is this?
And he says, I sell homes.
That's
Why did you turn it into a video?
because that's.
Do a couple of different poses
Something
on the
like
video.
I saw it. So it never gets on Facebook.
It was a bathroom selfie.
That was an Instagram picture that I just decided, you know what, I'm gonna put it on Facebook.
So the moral
I
of
did
the
say
story
I saw
is,
houses though, so that counts.
they're your excuses, and there is none.
Call it folding the dishes.
I'll tell you what, I can do this.
They're your excuses, and there is none. So let's get, like, the holidays are coming, these are great.
Bless
Anybody see
you.
my social media video?
Yeah.
Okay?
Which one?
And, same one that I also emailed to people.
Yes,
Thanks.
about how you're
Yeah.
thankful?
Bum bum.
Okay? Went out to 2,300 people.
And you still haven't changed your profile picture.
Jeez, Craig.
That was
Seriously?
So guys, like, get purposeful during the holidays. Send some people out there. Send some messages out there to people. Let them know who you are and what you're doing, and that you're grateful and you're thankful. And we got a lot of exciting things coming. We have a lot to talk about. I mean, you literally could go in there and say, guys, you know what? All of you real estate people out there, if you're not doing one of these things,
Call me.
Call me. Today.
Or
Okay.
J.O.B.
Do it.
That
Get it done.
J.O.B.
Call
is
me.
getting louder.
So are we using real or band?
huh?
Are we using band as a whole? I think is that taking the download?
Bum bum.
Band?
So I just started playing with it. Yeah, I was actually been. So, yeah, there's a new app I was playing with, because cause I'm struggling with WhatsApp a little bit. And there's a new app that's free. I had sent it to Patty, I sent it to Arsenio, I think I sent it to Brandon too. Arsenio's the only one that's responded. But you can see everybody's calendars on it, you could set up all kinds of stuff. Patty's like, no, stop, no. And I think that, I still think that leadership needs to look into it.
I like WhatsApp though, it's easier.
Well, Alexa, it's connected with
The
iPhone.
only thing that annoys me is that if anybody sends a picture, it automatically gets saved into my phone.
No, you can undo
You
that.
can take it
This is
off
your
of
settings.
phone, your settings.
It's your
I opened up
settings.
my photos the other day and I'm scrolling down and I see a picture of Beto with pink hair. I'm like, how did I get there?
You have to fix the settings.
But I never sent it
You
through
can shut
WhatsApp.
it off.
I don't know, I'm just making.
Yeah, through the app.
Oh,
Yeah, you did. It's WhatsApp.
Or no, you
Okay.
said the one with green hands, you said something.
Green hair.
Yeah.
Alright. Okay, so 411s, how many in this room have not had a 411 with me in the last 30 days?
Not?
30 days.
Wow.
30 days.
30 days.
Done. You had your phone.
30 days.
Not?
Not had a 411 with me in 30 days. So make sure you schedule that.
I was like, I know, guys.
We will have a 411 next week.
Never here.
I'll have a 411 with everybody between Monday and Wednesday. And then Brandon and Arsenio will be having the 411s with your team captains for the next 3 weeks. Okay? So if you haven't had a 411, I'd like to have one with you, and I will have one with everybody next week. Fire captains, hello. You talk to the teams?
Need to talk to our teams more on a personal level.
So scale of 1 to 5, 5 being, man, this is the best thing since like real estate. 1 being, I think that I'm failing at a high level and I need to adjust. What do you rate yourself as a team captain?
I think the captains didn't be in the front of the room.
Sure, come on up.
A 2.
Okay, John?
I would also say 2.
Okay, so what can happen, and look at your teams here, what needs to happen for this to get to a 5?
Accountability.
Okay, talk about that.
I don't think, I mean, as team leaders, I don't think we're holding our teams accountable to what we said we were going to.
And is your team holding you accountable to what you said you were gonna lead them through?
I guess not,
Lying
but
hard about it.
No, but I don't know that I've seen a change in production, obviously production level, or, you know, any type of legion activity, lead follow-up activity, anything like that, since we've started the fire captains, which that was the entire point of it, was to see a change in our.
So what needs to
activities.
happen?
I haven't been leading by example,
Okay.
and there are people on my team that are moving faster than I am, and that should not be. And I realize that I need to do more as a team captain. I would also like more feedback, because we are a team. I know that I could be doing some things better. Sharon definitely keeps me on top of things. I appreciate you for that.
Sorry.
No, I really genuinely, like, you're more on point than I am, and I do look up to you, most days, so. So I know that there's things that I need to do as a team captain to do more and to be leading by example. So that would be my thing to help out.
Okay. So who's on John's team right now? Show of hands. What are you doing to hold John accountable to being your Serbian leader? Just like you would hold me accountable. What are you doing? New role for him, new role for you. What are you doing, Arsenio?
Honestly, I'm not doing anything. Be perfectly honest with you guys, as fire captains, I think you guys should motivate more. And I don't see that from, well, not on your team, but I don't see that motivation. I don't see that push. You should be proud of our team. Our team's stepping up, our team needs to do this, and more motivation, I think, would actually kind of open up our eyes a little bit more. Leading by example, I think, is a great thing. But yeah, I think motivation, because a lot of times when you walk into the office, and I do this as a joke, but I walk into the office and I'm like, it's dead in here. I don't hear nothing. I said it this morning, I was like, I could drop a pin and I could probably hear the pin drop louder than I can hear you guys. Motivation.
Brian?
And kind of the same thing.
Yeah.
I feel like, well, I mean, as far as me, I don't know about everybody else, but like, I can't hold him accountable to holding me accountable, because I feel like I need to hold myself accountable.
Okay, we're gonna come back to that, and I know what you're saying, and I think there's a workaround to that. Sharon?
What was the question? It was, no, honestly, what was the exact question? Like, what are we doing to hold him accountable?
Yeah.
I text and I ask him what's going on and when the meetings are and what are we doing and what's going down, and then that's the way I am, is if there's some, and I told him like in advance, like if there's somebody managing me, I'm gonna be constantly, you know, asking, and just until like the workflow solidifies a little bit.
So talented people will push for solutions. Talented people will share their goals and fulfill their needs as a natural byproduct of fulfilling their own. Talent knows what they want and is actively searching to know. Talent pushes you consistently. Talent is continually raising the bar and wants to be associated with other talented people. And talent usually focuses their talk on the language of challenge and achievement, not rhetoric. So, sounds to me like you're talented, and you're just trying to get your servant leader, who you've given permission to hold you accountable,
Yeah.
to rise to the occasion.
Yeah, and to get on me about that.
And that's a constant struggle.
Yeah.
You're doing the same thing with me.
Mhm.
You're doing the same thing with Amelia. Okay, I expect that. I expect the people in my room to push us. This is what I want, this is how I want it, this is when I need it. And if you can't give that to me, that's okay, but don't think that I'm going to stay in the organization anymore. We constantly have to raise our awareness and increase our bubble so that they can increase theirs within. And when somebody grows outside of your world, they will lose and leave your world. Okay? People agree to have you as leaders because there's something you can give them, there's something you can provide them. And if real estate was simple, everybody would be doing it. There's a reason why Sharon and Brian and Arsenio did not want to be a leader at this time. But make no mistake, guys, there are people in this room that when we drop the ball, they will be there to catch it, and they have been studying us and watching us and focusing on us and looking at our playbook, that they believe that they can do it at 75% or better. So as leaders, it's our job to constantly get into check with our people and say, what can I do to help you? How are you doing? Did you hit these numbers? Did you not, and why? Let's stop. Let's address the situation. Let's reframe. Let's get refocused. And this needs to happen constantly. Constantly. In bold, how often do you guys talk to your team?
Once a week.
Okay? Yeah, well, at bold. So I'm talking to my team table, which is all leadership, 4 to 5 times a day. And it's not long and drawn out. It's, I hit my numbers, I hit my contacts, this is what I do differently today. Awesome. They knew everything about my Real Talk event. They knew everything about what was going on over the weekend because I informed them of it. I didn't wait for them to ask, but I put myself in a position where I want my people to help me. We're in a team environment. And I saw the opportunity, like when I'm sitting at a leadership table with guys that are recruiting at such a high level. I mean, these are guys that have had conversations with Gary Keller. These are guys that are running market centers. I'm like, I'm not just gonna sit here and idle. Hell no. Like I'm talking to JT constantly, I'm talking to Patty from Las Vegas constantly. What are you guys doing? How are you doing? Why are you doing it? What are your numbers? What are your agents' numbers? How many of your agents focus on FSBOs? How many of your agents, like I am constantly going and seeking the information I need. Do the same thing. Because I expect all of you to do that with your leader. So I think the first thing you can do is communicate higher, more effectively. I think the second thing you can do is ask permission to hold them accountable and have them actually give you the permission. Have that conversation. Is it okay if I hold you accountable to what you need to do today? And would it be okay if we don't go to bed until you've done that? Okay? Those would be 2 things I would start with. because they want you to be successful as a team leader, they really do, and they want to be able to get what they need from you. It is reciprocal. Okay? Anybody have an objection to that? Anything they want to add? Are we in agreement? Like, isn't that truly what we want? We want these guys to support you, to be there for you, to help you through the little things that you need when you need it, and you're willing to be honest and open with them and say, this are my challenges, this is what I hit, because there's no judgment.
Right.
We've all been there. I have failed miserably, guys, and I have won at a high level. And at least I know where I need to be in between. And I strive for the top 25%, but I got my days. Like, honestly, I probably fail my days more than I succeed. And that's okay. That's okay. But I'm honest with myself about that. Okay? Good. Anything you want to add? Okay. Awesome. So I'm excited about next Monday's update. And you should know everybody's numbers. You should know why. And they should know what you're doing to help them through that. There should be complete transparency. So it starts with communication. So let's fix that. Okay? Great. Thanks, guys. Moving on. Appointment held and set winner.
Oh. Who's that?
John.
John?
John. Is it John? Man, you guys had a bold 100 on Wednesday?
Lots of nurtures.
Ooh, wait. I'm sorry. Like, how many appointments were set?
I said 3.
I
Okay,
said
you
1.
said 3. John, you
Oh, I
said,
forgot to put the
did you
blue
do a bold
dots.
100?
Yes, I set
Okay.
one listing appointment and then one more over the weekend.
Okay. So,
No one else hit.
I would encourage you guys to focus
No, that was the second meeting.
heavily on 3. Heavily on 3.
Unfortunately,
Okay.
sorry, Brandon.
Okay. I would like to see this team by the end of the year to be somewhere between 7 and 10% conversion. So if you had 100 contacts at a 10% conversion, contact to appointment, that would be what? I know, I did it. I did the 10 on purpose. I know we're real estate agents. 10. Okay? That's what I'd like to see. Am I going to complain if you're at 5%?
Yes.
I will, and you're still better than the average real estate agent who does this full time as a career. So I want you between 7 and 10%. There's no reason everybody in this room can't have a bold 100 and set 10 appointments. Because if you're not, it is a conversion issue. It is a shitty conversation. And that's okay. Know that that's the problem, and let's fix that. You're hitting the bold 100. You're actually doing the activity. You have the contacts. Now let's have an awesome conversation so that you can convert. I'll bet you if I were to listen in and dive in, it's not even the conversion, it's the closing. It's not actually staying on the phone until the appointment has been given to you. It's taking the first, well, why don't you call me back next week? Okay, I'll call you back next week. All right. Friday? Today's Monday. No. Great, well, sure, I can pitch you in for next week. Oh, looks like I'm actually going to be in your neighborhood today. I just pulled you up on Google Maps. Like, this is awesome. What are you doing at 3? 5 minutes, I'll be in and out. No, let's stick for next Friday. Okay, so if I had a buyer who was going to buy your home between now and next Friday, physical buyer, had a buyer who wanted to buy your home between now and next Friday, and they can only see your home today at 3 o'clock, would you let them in? Well, yeah. Oh, okay. So what do I need to do to come into your home today at 3 o'clock? What is it that you don't like about me?
You don't have a buyer.
Okay. Well, I'd love to preview your home so I can see if I have buyers. I'd love to market your home. I'd love to help you sell your home yourself.
I could even bring you an offer.
I'll bring you an offer if I can get in today. You may not like the offer, but we can have a conversation on how to make that offer better. How's 3 o'clock today? Great. Figured it would work. Like, guys, are we going through that level of conversation? Or we're like, okay, next Friday, that's cool. And I'm going to cancel because I got to watch the Knights game next Friday. All right? So, John, 2 claps for John. Come and see me afterwards. And Who won last week? Shannon. She's still not back. When does she come back?
She's coming back today.
Okay.
She lands
I
at
still have
12.
Shannon's for last week. All right, moving on.
She's landing in like 20 minutes.
Cool. I saw her Facebook post. Business planning. We have now decided that it's going to be
December 10th?
December 10th,
Oh, thank God, I'll be in town.
December 10th from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m.
I'm not gonna be
I won't either. I'm being nice, so.
Why did we change that?
Yeah, what happened, what,
Even
Because
December,
the actual
That's correct,
training
that's
room was, they have the training room in the morning already set, I don't know what they.
Schneider Group.
Schneider Group.
They had booked it.
And I went requested to get the room for the 3rd, but that was a day that they could not, because they had something already set as well, so they gave us the 10th. And
yeah,
that's
so
all we did.
I'm not gonna be either.
Who in the room will not be here on the 10th? Okay, 2. Who in the room agrees that the 10th works for them? Okay, and who in the room can make it on the 10th and would prefer to have it a different day?
What? You can make it
Okay,
on-
so sounds like it will be the 10th.
Can I do
That's a
Skype?
Monday.
The Monday.
That's 2 Mondays from now.
Yes.
Okay?
Oh,
Probably.
it's not gonna work, cause I landed on the 10th.
Boats have Wi-Fi, right?
yeah.
Both of us.
Expensive.
You
I
got your
I
phone
ordered
ordered.
9 and I landed on the 10th,
They
so
do,
I'm
you
not
can pay
gonna
for it
be-
daily, what, well, sometimes they'll have a computer where.
Alright, so
Can you guys videotape there, right?
we'll videotape, here's the best part. Once we get down to your business, it's relatively simple. So if you're leaving on the 10th, schedule a 411 with me. We will do your 135 for 2019.
Yeah.
We will do your 411. I will retain that info and I will present it on your behalf to the team after business plan. And it'll be part of the annual goal for the team, okay?
Okay,
All right.
okay.
For those of you who aren't going to be here, make sure you get with Ross and figure out what it is you're bringing. It is a potluck.
Okay.
Bring something good. I'm very judgmental when it comes to food.
How many people?
Even though Craig eats about a
Do it,
spoonful.
I would plan for 20.
20 people.
Yeah.
Bring it,
Ah,
Dan.
So you're very judgmental, even though you'll eat a spoonful.
I know, still, I'm gonna try.
Yeah, company.
And can we have like a little competition?
What?
Can we have like a little winner?
I call it chili, I'm bringing chili.
No, oh my God, what a let's have a chili contest.
Or I'll bring
So
potato
main
soup.
dish,
If I
side,
was here,
dessert.
I would've win.
No, I would win
Winners.
the chili
Main
contest.
dish, side, dessert.
I'll bring potato soup.
And it doesn't matter if you
You're-
make it.
you're bringing potatoes, so I'm
Yeah,
bringing
we'll do
chili?
the 3 categories.
Alright.
I'm gonna bring a pre-made tiramisu.
Okay?
Patty, will you bring more?
I don't know what I'm
Patty,
bringing.
will you bring?
Alright, moving on. So listen, Brandon, do
You
you
can
have
make the
anything?
chili.
Yeah,
You can make the chili.
so,
Sure.
I don't have time.
so the main thing I wanna talk about is I just wanna get everybody into production before December. Like not before December, but I want everybody to have a check in hand by come Christmas. Like, that's my goal. So, whatever I can do to help you guys, come talk to me. I think the main problem we're having is we're not really lead genning like we're supposed to. And I think that's the only conversation that needs to be had right now. I think that's the biggest, most important thing. If we're not getting in every day, we're not time blocking, we're not sticking to it, and giving at least 2 hours a day of serious lead gen, not talking to everybody around us, I think that's the biggest issue we're having. And I think if we can do that at least 2 hours a day, I think everybody in this room will have a check in their hand come Christmas. And that's my goal. I want everybody in here to have money so that you can go do whatever you need to do on Christmas. Like, I mean, we all have families. So, come to me if you have any questions. I would love to help all of you, and that's my goal.
And to add on that, people say, well, how, math doesn't add up. But here's a great example. Connor's got a client that said, well, we don't want to close until January. And I'm like, bullshit. Like, who knows what could happen between now and January? We don't know if the government's gonna blow up, if if the Hondurans are all gonna, come across the border and, we don't know. Like, weird shit's happening. And we're all kind of like, well, what does this mean for real estate? And Tracy's going, yes.
I just got an email back saying that they're signing everything that we're gonna list this week.
All right. There you go.
Is that the
2
one,
claps
Tracy?
after she gets the listing agreement signed. So Connor's clients are like, hey, we're gonna be out of town for a month. We leave on the 14th. And so Connor's initial knee-jerk reaction is, all right, well, I guess we're gonna have to close this thing next year. Like hell. can they close on or before the 14th? Like, are the buyers willing to close early? Yeah, they can close the 13th or earlier. Great. Go to the lender, tell him if he wants the loan, he's going to do a 17-day loan.
And he is.
And he is. And go to the seller and write it into the contract. Are both homes vacant? Yes, they are. Great. So, sounds like you're gonna get an accepted offer today.
Yeah.
Sounds like one of those offers will go under contract and close on the 13th. Today's what?
26.
26.
So how many days is that?
Is there, how many, is there 30 or 31 days?
30 days in November.
Oh,
Because-
17.
So you write the rules, guys. You write the rules. You wanna check before Christmas, you write the rules. I never wait. Like, if you know me and you know how I negotiate, I am never parking something out there. I'm always closing deals like I am flat broke and I need the check today. Because I have seen things happen that were beyond my control. I've seen sellers get wishy-washy. I've seen escrow officers, get gunned down. And all of a sudden, deals didn't close for 2 weeks. That's what happened over October 1st. I had an escrow open with an escrow officer who unfortunately was one of the victims, and we sat in limbo. And it was the right thing to do. Like, I'm sorry, what do you do? You're like, so I'm always like, let's close today. Let's close today. Yeah, it's your deal to lose. And because harsh realities happen, especially in the holidays. Buyer's remorse, seller's remorse, things happen with kids. Whatever it is, get the deal done today. Okay? And so, yeah, I think I'm very confident he's going to close this deal on the 13th or earlier. Patty, you have anything?
Yes, good morning, good afternoon. We have a class scheduled for the 11th on gravity, and we will talk about transactions and how to get more people into the database.
So you're going to send out an email to everybody?
When is it?
It's on the
And
11th.
ask for us if we can put it on the agenda. If not, I will send an email.
Can I see that from,
Is this from Gravity?
It'll be a web.
Skype or something?
It'll be a webinar, so you,
Yes. I will send you that link so you can get through Skype. And please, everybody, please try to be there because it's really important. We are on the shift and we need more buyers and sellers into the platform to keep working on.
We will send it out. It's 2 weeks from now, so we'll send out the details. Okay, anything else you need to add, Patty?
Please, every time you receive a lead, contact them eventually for 12 days on the road. Because I've seen agents that they just call the lead when they get it and they forget about the lead. And you guys just leave that lead on their attempt to contact.
So internet buyer lead comes into the system. What is the average time to contact them before they convert?
5 minutes.
No, that's
To call.
that is the standard of contacting them. But how many times do you have to contact them
7.
before they convert?
9.
On average, 9. 9. You have to call, text, email them 9 times on average before they'll go, yes, yeah, okay, leave me alone, I am interested. So are you talking to them enough? You think you're bothering them. They're the one that said contact agent.
Yeah.
can I add something on the database?
Yep.
As a fire captain, putting the appointments into the database. So that way John and I can call Patty maybe every morning or every Monday or something and finding out the appointments that way as well.
Okay.
And I think that'll streamline our numbers as well.
Okay, I'm good with that. Talk to your teams on that. Arsenio.
Well, most of my ISAs aren't here, but dial. We're gonna literally get into boot camp mode. I am gonna hold you guys accountable to the point where if I'm making more calls than you, I'm thinking I'm gonna talk to Patty about turning you guys off. So I want to see basically a screenshot of your phone calls showing me you're actually making calls, because a lot of times I'm just hearing a lot of
So, and you know, that was a very direct approach, and to round the edges.
Damn.
Sometimes.
No,
I'm good with the bluntness.
Because well, to be perfectly honest, one of the people who I actually wanted to say that to is not here today.
Yeah.
But, and it needs to be done. I mean, and it needs to be done, because now it's to the point where there's a lot of BS going on in that office. Dial, that's what you're getting paid for, that's what you're being done for. And with all the new recruits that we have here, it's not a good look when you're getting by and these people ain't really learning. That's what ISA is for. ISA is for you're building your business to when you actually become a license. So you're hurting yourself by not doing the job. Make sense?
If we can't get purposeful on the lead gen and prospecting, you're never going to have a big business. It's never going to happen. You'll get by, you'll make a living, whatever that is, you'll work with your sphere of influence, you're never going to build a big business. It's never going to happen. And so the rounded corners of what you're saying, which are very true, you're either gonna hustle for yourself or you're gonna hustle for someone else. Bottom line. The one person that he wanted to really talk about today, that person is going and doing something for someone else at not even close to the same amount of money that they would be making if they just did the job themselves. And I mean, sometimes it takes like failure and successes to be able to resonate with that, but I'm dumbfounded. I'm like, OMG, you will go and do something for someone else where they'll tell you, I want this done and then that, and then I want you to clean the toilets, and I want you to take the boxes out and then throw this in the trash and go help this client, da 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 da. Oh, and I'll pay you miserably to do that. And you do it. And I don't mean you, but I mean you do it. And if you would have just allowed someone to hold you accountable, or been honest with yourself and held yourself to that accountability, it says, no, I'm gonna get my ass in that office and I'm gonna do my job and I'm gonna get out by noon. And I'm gonna do it by noon. And if I don't leave. That'll happen maybe once or twice, and you'll start doing it. You'll start doing it. And then in 66 days, when you look back, you're like, that sucked, and I'm thankful that I did. Thankful I did. Thank you so much for being real. Sometimes I think I'm not real enough. And I love it when you guys police yourselves and each other. Like, that's the true definition of the team. Because I have to be I don't want to say, I don't say I'm concerned, but I have to be very cognizant of the employer-employee mindset. Because some of us come from an employee mindset, and it's easy for someone else to give you direction and treat you like an employee, and that is detrimental to you being an empire builder. So sometimes I have to kind of let you flounder out there, but up here, can call BS all day long. And they're doing it with more heartfelt intentions than I could ever do. I have a gain from you, but your teammate may not. Your teammate may not financially gain from you. They may, depending on your relationship with them, but they may not. Like, they genuinely just want you to get your shit together and be successful. And that's an awesome conversation. Like, I love that. And there's not a lot of teams out there that can say they have that. There's not a lot. So, thank you, I appreciate it. 2 claps for Arsenio. Are you having those conversations with the people sitting next to you? That's the question. So the goal for November, or no, sorry, Amelia, go ahead.
So guys, I talk about this every single morning that we're here. We always talk about our goals, and for you guys that are joining us for the first time today, every morning on our huddle calls, I will ask you guys, what is our goal for the day? And what is our goal for the day? Or for the month, I'm sorry, not for the day. 30, okay, so is it just me winning with the 30, or do we all win? We all win. It's a team effort, like he was saying. So there was times last week where Craig had an appointment, I had an appointment, I came back, and people were gone. So it was a little disappointing, because it's like, okay, we're here, we're a team, we're here to build ourselves up, we're here to do things, you know, so we can all win, so we can have that amazing Christmas, so we can have that, you know, extra little cash coming in. And if we're not here and we're not working, it's kind of hard. And I want to give 2 thumbs up to Sharon, because there was a time when she came in as well, and on WhatsApp, it's like, where's everybody at? She had an appointment, came back to work on her business. So, in order for us to be in business, guys, how many appointments do we have to set a day? Two. If we don't, what happens?
What was the
Were
day?
we in business?
No.
So was it a productive day? No, it was a waste of time. Honestly, it was a waste of time. Now, we are here, Ross and I are here, as all your leadership team is here to support you, to help you in anything that you need. But, you know, you know, sometimes it gets a little frustrating when we're here to support and push and come on, what do you need from me? And things aren't getting done. So, I piggyback on Arsenio, what he was saying, you know, about, let's continue, guys, let's push. I know it's hard, I know there's a shift, I know it's getting a little complicated, and it gets to the point where we get a little frustrated, but we have to keep pushing, cause what is your, real estate is,
Real
Simple.
estate is simple and it's not
it's
easy.
not easy, but there is a benefit to it. You will get there, and we're here to support you. You know, we are. I mean, I know, Diane, what did you see this weekend? Me pushing the kids, doing signs and getting things out there. I mean, it's my, you know, it was our weekend off with my kids, but I get them out there too, you know, because I wanna see you guys succeed. I wanna succeed.
And in turn, maybe got a babysitting gig.
Yep.
So
They
you
got a
know,
babysitting
they're
gig, so-
hustling too. You're
So
the one
yes,
who's
I mean, it does, it gets a little frustrating, cause it's like, you know, I wanna stay home and I wanna just not do anything, but you can't go that route sometimes, you know, if we have kids, it's hard, and
Yeah.
for those that have kids.
I bring
you
my
know-
kids everywhere, I don't
Yes,
care.
we have to, you know, we have to, and we move forward from there, guys. But anyways, moving forward on that, our goal is 30, next slide.
So that is one escrow opened a day.
A day.
So we're not even focusing on the 30 anymore. We lose if we can't get somebody on the team to open an escrow a day.
I tell
A
you guys,
day.
yeah. We
A
were-
day. So who's going to open escrow today? Are we going to hold Connor accountable to opening the escrow today?
Yes.
Can I step out and?
Is everybody in the room going to hold Connor accountable to opening the escrow today?
Yes.
Great. So Connor, I won't go home tonight until you open the escrow. Is that okay?
Yes.
Great.
That, so, again, guys, you guys saw this last week, we do have 4 listings in escrow, we do have one of Connor's, referrals in escrow as well. Good
You're
job
walking
on
out
that.
the door.
At that, we
Let
do
me
have
close
2
this
new
escrow.
builds, guys, and we have, Thomas Patrick, we didn't. No. Sorry, guys. So we have Tracy and Sharon that are still in escrow right now, they're getting ready to close, some of them, one is gonna be next week, or this week, next week. And then, Tracy, you are on the 8th, I think, of December, or something like that, 15th of December. So we're getting ready to close on those guys, and we are, like I said, we are here as your operations team to help you push that through, okay?
And I pay a $500 bonus to anybody that procures a buyer to one of our listings. Okay? So if you're working Patrick and you bring the buyer, okay, without an agent, you're the procuring on the buyer, I pay you a $500 bonus.
And guys, we do have 5 active listings, or 5 active listings. 3 of them are getting ready to drop off, 2 are the same property, which is okay, so let's get out there and get a new listing. I know Teresa's gonna get ready to add one on there, congratulations. And then, any questions or anything?
We'll wrap up real quick. Do you have anything else you want to address with them?
No, that's it. Oh, shirts, finally, last week, were approved and look okay, so we're expecting them sometime, hopefully today or tomorrow, so fingers crossed. That's it.
Great. So let's quickly go through, you guys can start packing up, but let's quickly go through our events. So we have Bold tomorrow. Does everybody have their homework done?
Almost.
Okay, he is going to grill you on your financial expenses, your checkbook expenses. Okay, he did it last year, he's going to pull that, and he's going to grill you on that, so make sure you did the expenses correctly, and that you spent all the money. Okay, now I could hold some people out and say, all right, well, what are the expenses, what are you at today, how many millions, and I won't do that, because Craig doesn't know, so.
So we
We'll move on.
we have to show them the expenses?
You have to show your
Show
team.
them.
Homework, yeah, where every day you have to spend the money.
And it
And
doubles
we're
every
in like
day.
the millions right now,
Oh
that
my
you have to spend every
God.
day.
But what if Russ says, okay,
I
what'd
was
you spend
home
on day
all week, so
12?
Yeah, he's gonna see it. Alright, so bold homework. Don't worry about dialing for dollars. Let's talk about the escape room. Does anybody not understand what's happening? Because I actually had somebody show up at my house Friday night.
No way.
What do you mean?
And we all have to tease him. Brian
Why?
Garcia. He's not here.
Oh,
Why did he-
I was like, Brian.
So
Why did-
Brian is joining the team. He's in the middle of getting licensed. He showed up with his
Oh,
wife and a
that
bottle of
guy.
wine.
Oh, that
And he's
guy.
like, I'm like in PJs.
What are you doing here?
How you doing?
Oh my God, the guy from Starbucks,
Awkward,
right?
yeah, yeah.
Oh my God.
So we gotta tease him, but
So what happened? You sent him home?
he thought it was, yeah, I sent him home because I was only one home. The house is dark. I was working on some other stacks. I was working on my Gary Keller questions. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not talking to you now. Come back another time. You're on my
You
calendar.
can leave the wine. Thanks for the wine.
Robert Madavi and Nice Merlot, I told him to bring it back. So, does everybody understand what's happening on Tuesday?
Tomorrow.
So tomorrow we have Bold, and then from Bold, you have about an hour, hour and a half.
Get your
And
kid.
the escape room is located near the airport, correct?
Oh.
Someone pulled it up and it was like right in the airport.
Hopefully it's not in the airport.
You have to escape from the
They're
airport
all
security.
over the, there's 100 of these escape room places, guys.
Yeah, what's the exact address?
I'll get the address to you guys on this, okay?
It's right there.
No, that's my house.
Oh.
Yeah, don't show up there.
Not for the, nice escape room. So, do not leave today without knowing the address. Understand that it's near the airport.
Or just put it in.
So if you're in Bold, make sure you plan, because you're already going to be in Henderson. And if you live up in the Northwest, can you figure out the logistical opportunities and conflicts there?
Set an appointment real quick.
No. It's in Henderson.
All is that somewhere else?
There is a sign-up sheet going around the room, guys. Make sure you guys sign up because I sent an email Wednesday and I had a few people respond to it and that was it. So we need to get a head count because I need to call them today.
And here's why. Because if you, Bold aside, move Bold out of the equation. Everybody in the room is invited to the escape room, provided that we have a contract. Because there's a head count, it costs money. So as long as we're in business together, you don't even have to have your license. This is a Team Tiffy thing. They have signed up for 20 names. When I did the math, I thought we were like at 24, 25. There's some logistical issues with this. We might have to move rooms. We might have to do a different,
Are we separating?
we don't know yet, because
I don't
it's
wanna
based off
separate.
of how many people can be in a room.
There's 35 people going on.
What are we signing?
They're not.
So we need to know if you're going or not. Now, this is a two-part answer.
Is that for the escape room?
This is for the escape room first.
Okay.
You are all welcome to come to my house afterwards, directly after escape room. It is a show up at my house. When you get there, you can bring somebody with you. If you want to bring your children or whatever, Amelia just needs to know because we have a food count. So we want to make sure that we didn't go from 23 people to 50 people. That would be a food problem. Okay? So we need to kind of know today who's coming, who's not. It's more of an adult thing, but some of you need to bring your kids, and you've expressed that, and I'm okay with that.
Can you go without going to the escape room?
Yes,
Okay.
you can.
The escape room, I believe, is 105 East Reno Avenue.
That is correct. 105 East Reno Avenue. It's over by the airport.
She already mailed that, right?
Yes.
Yes,
And then
The address is.
my house is at,
Oh.
my house is at Jones and Cheyenne.
You gotta drive up.
So you would either hit the 15 to the 95, or you would hit the 95 and go around the loop. Get off on Cheyenne and start heading towards the North Las Vegas airport. When you hit a cow, you come to my area. Okay? So this one, I don't necessarily need to know if you're coming or not. I just need to know if you're bringing somebody with you.
So
Everybody
yes,
is
you
allowed to
need
have a
know.
+1. And we have food for +1s. We have drinks, we have alcohol, I even have sodas and juices and stuff. Any questions on that? Okay.
What time at the escape room, guys?
6.
Six.
But be
No.
there at 5:30.
be there at 5:30. We have to check in and get ready. In any event, no later than 5:45. So for those of you who are in Bold, if you're in Bold and it gets out at 3:30 and you're in Henderson,
You better get on the damn road because there's traffic.
and
True, and if you have to pick up your kids, you really
so
need to.
like you have 2 hours. I bring that up because some of you are like, oh, I'm gonna run home and I got 2 hours. No, like you're in the middle of traffic getting back
Oh my
to
God,
where
that's-
you're at.
Both ways,
50
getting there.
minutes just to get home.
So you might want to consider making alternative plans,
Okay.
parking at the Starbucks where I'm gonna be at, and doing some prospecting and following up for an hour and a half,
When?
if you're in Bold.
Oh.
I'm not leaving Henderson until I hit the escape route. I've been through that, there's gonna be too much traffic, I will not get back in time, so I'm just gonna hang out at the Starbucks at Eastern and the 215. And then I'll drive up Eastern to Reno, and I'm right there at the escape route. Okay? Just, I want you guys to think through that, because I know some of you are gonna, like, hightail it to northwest side of town, and you're not going to make the escape route. Okay?
Touch the couch and head right back
I
out.
have everybody, right?
All right,
Everybody's
last,
on this list.
But I email you too.
last but not least, holiday auction potluck, November 5 to 7. It's here in this room. I encourage all of you to attend. I will not be here. You'll be in my thoughts and prayers.
Your checkbook with me.
Not happening. And I've already hit my,
I mean,
what is it when you give back?
Charity.
My charitable contributions for the year.
oh yeah?
Yes. Yeah,
What term is that?
You can't be nice anymore.
my checkbook.
We're not doing the 700.
Well,
Listen,
I don't
guys.
know. I don't think I have
Listen,
to.
Linda.
Listen.
Listen, Linda. All right,
If they bid and they get the.
what's this holiday gift wrapping?
Whoever can wrap the
If
present
they
the fastest.
bid, Craig,
wins.
on the plant to come out of Hayden's room and come into our office, it's sitting on your desk.
I'm just saying I want it to get over $1,000 and I will happily put it in my office.
And it's going to sit on your desk, not in the sales office. It's gonna go in.
Provided I have a desk.
You do have a desk in your nice A office. It's gonna sit right there, nice and pretty.
I feel like
What?
there's a deeper conversation that needs to be had here. 'Cause I
What
don't-
is the highest
Because
one?
I have a desk in your office too.
No, you don't.
No, you don't.
Holiday wrapping, what is this?
This is for Shirley sent this, and it's just $1 per gift. What she needs, it says, what I need from you, the gifts that need wrapping, a list of who each gift goes to, any wrapping materials you will need.
Oh, if you don't have time to wrap,
Before Thursday, December
I'll bring all my gifts to
20th,
her.
and this is for Shirley, okay?
Okay,
That's all we have, she'll wrap.
gotcha. I like to wrap my own gifts,
Me too.
so that will be something I use. Anything else that I'm missing?
Craig's a good rapper.
There's a Christmas party on the 7th.
So this is the holiday auction. Keep going.
Keep going.
Stop.
Right there, on the right hand side, 7th.
7?
December
Ignite.
7th. Oh, I'm sorry, I moved on to December. There's a party
That's
on December
November.
7th, I guess.
Next one.
That's November.
Okay, moving on.
We're starting with-
Yep, we're good. We will address December next
Oh, okay.
Tuesday, but it's available. You can get the.
Well,
the-
you need to call me.
Anything from me?
I just have one little thing, I'm going to, Lighthouse Charities on Wednesday at 10, if anybody would like to go. It's for refugees, and they learn how to make food, and they've got a little shop where they make bracelets, so it's really.
What
good
day is
cause.
that?
Wednesday,
Oh.
Day after tomorrow?
yeah,
Okay.
so I know it's during prospecting, but if you can shift it around,
So
I'm going.
can you give us a 30-second kind of what they would do and what would be
So
needed
you would
from
just,
people?
you would just, tour the facility, and then there's lunch at the end that they provide. They have dog training, and they have a little shop that you can shop in, and that's pretty much it, it's just quick.
Okay. And then what would be the goal of you and other agents when it comes to relationship with them?
Well, take pictures, post it on,
So marketing it?
marketing.
Hey, I care about other people.
Yep.
Okay.
My house.
Right, right.
Okay, I have 100. So could you turn that into your prospecting for the day?
Can you email that flyer to us? or put it on the,
It was just.
The website
Yeah.
thing she's going to, it's not
Yeah.
a.
oh, put the link on the, WhatsApp.
Okay, thank you, everybody, people, have a good day.
Red team, front conference room, please.
The front conference room,
Yes.
so we do have everybody on
Got it
here?
reserved.
Okay.
Josephine, are you about to take off?
You have no time?
Okay, cool.
I gotta go eat. Food sounds so good right now.
Tracy.
Very tight. How long do you think it'll take?
John, I'll be in there in a minute.
I'll help you. We'll talk with Tracy.
We would have a one-on-one.
Okay, I'll wait for you.
Or the one-on-one, or if you've got like things that
we're still
deciding factors,